This is Papa still through the smoke right now. An angle here to bring the down.
Try and get a revive going on here, but now they've got almost a FireBird in front of them.
Mow you down so very quickly. Because he was searching for KP a while ago. Now he gets it.
The punch by Dreamfire in the last game of the day, and perhaps they might do
chance
this.
to climb. Weibo still fighting versus BearClaw here. They got the first knock already. Continue how it's done. And with the Octane, that extra bit of speed, that's him. It's time to go, go, go. Luhan and Levy will send it. Kill Devil wants the fight immediately. But Benpu makes them work for now. Looking to take the fight towards KPG here. Tree Cleaner cornered. And he will just be felled by Vixiao. Next on the list might be the rest of KPG through the smoke. HKUF will push. And they're fighting really well today. Bible Shore making them work for it. Vitetsu, but they're happy to stay on the sidelines here.
Oh, big spam from this devotion.
Straight in here, cut the ribbon by Rogers and the rest. Akuma is gone here. Same can be said for the rest of SWQ. A single member left as True takes advantage. And watching from Geekay, finding a squad to fight, and Tree Cleaner is just cut down.
Be happy. Set up and Weibo. I don't know, they're going to be under the pump at the moment. Pete, God, he's gone for the double! No way! There might still be a world in here. MXF trying to hold on, but Weibo
managed formation, but BP is the one altogether to run into Walsh here, who's alone, isolated from the rest.
I was thinking about taking matters into their own hands, and now the fight really starts to ensue. That's a
remarkable team also taking this opportunity. They find the opposition cornered. Big Z now has been felled. It's a battle for the rock, and we'll see who'll take the game with it. A slide in from very cheeky.
On the outskirts of the map still. Be awkward.
That's Dreamfire finishing off the job there. SWQ, now they're forced out, and it'll run into KPG. True also gonna be nearby. KPG can't even get into the ring. Here comes Fruit Salad though. Push comes to shove versus EVOS Predator. 2v2 for now as Grape is gonna get eliminated. By Euler hits a good shot, and Fruit Salad searching for a final target by Euler. And
undisputed champions of APAC-South in the ALGS.
such a good spot here. Provides any much coverage for Popcorn. Bradley kicks down and out already. Crystal strike there.
Let's go down. 1v1, 1v1.
Oh, what? Well, Shady, he finds the target.
That's going to be a punishing blow.
Tree is covered. Fly high to set by. The wraparound is perfect.
What? No! What the overextend? So does Kashira!
Does get spotted out. The pings go down. Oh my god!
The 360! What a beast!
Hello and welcome everyone to Split 2 Pro League, where we'll be covering all the Apex Legends action here in APAC-South. My name is Lace, and we are back once again to bring you the best of this region. And of course, we have the casters back with us today. The man who can talk about just about anything is Elfish, and the ever so knowledgeable Genome. Genome, we missed you last week. I hope you're prepared for some top tier Apex Legends action for our region. And who might be making our top 20 today?
Yeah, that's the question that we all have to be wondering today, Lace, isn't it? It's the last week before regional finals, which means we say goodbye to 10 of our teams. Of course, only the top 20 out of those 30 will make it forward to the regional finals, and there's a couple of big names down the bottom that, with one big week, maybe, they can, you know, make their way in and sort of give themselves that chance to win the match point finals and make it to LAN, because otherwise, you know, they're looking pretty shaky.
That's it. We're definitely going to be looking at a couple of teams today that are sitting in, about, the 20th to 25th position just to see if they can make that cusp. But Elfish, Dax and I got a little silly and fun last week. Are you ready, Elfish? Some more back in my day shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Genome here with me this week, so I feel like we can be the 2 to your 1 in this case. The team's on my side this time, not on the other side. So I've got some assistance this time around, which makes me feel a little better. But you know what? Look, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think there's going to be quite as many shenanigans this week. Having a look at that scoreboard, obviously, as you say, it's going to be important for those teams inside the top 20. But I don't know how much moving and shaking really is going to be done. Like, there is a pretty significant gap from 19 to 18 that needs to be overcome if any team kind of wants to lock themselves in comfortably inside of that top 20. So yeah, is it going to be one of those weeks where there's a lot of chaos, or are we just going to kind of see a bit more normalcy ensuing? I'm leaning towards the latter, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to be taking things a little serious today, and so will our teams. We definitely had some epic gameplay last week, and I'm sure that everybody is ready to see how this works. So let's take you through how the Split 2 format will go.
Let's jump straight into Split 2 of the Year 4 Pro League. Here's a quick reminder about our format. Each region is made up of 30 teams. 8 of those teams battled through the preseason qualifiers, and 22 earned it through established winning form, invites from EA, or by being the best of the rest. Those 30 teams will be split into 3 groups of 10 teams and play a triple round robin with each group playing the others 3 times. At the end of the regular season, the top 20 teams in each region will play a match point regional final, where a number of the top teams of each region will then advance to the Split 2 playoffs. Looking forward to the second split, we're going to find out if the teams that topped their regions have what it takes to make another deep run.
First up, we'll be having groups A versus C for the first 6 matches, and then we move on to B versus C. So a lot of APAC-South Legends action games for you today. We, of course, are going to be keeping a close eye on our top 20 teams because we're going soon to the regional finals. We have gone through several weeks of amazing gameplay, and we make it now to June 23rd here, Elfish. It has been a blink of an eye, this split.
Always is, really, isn't it, right? Not too many play days. And a lot of teams probably feeling the pressure coming into this final week where they thought maybe they would have had a little bit more time to work with. But obviously, today is the last day. That's good news for the Group C members. They'll have the double up today. So a bit of an extra opportunity for a couple of those teams to maybe get some more points on the board than others. But you've got to look at maybe teams like Weibo, teams like Dreamfire, and take a leaf out of their book and say, okay, well, those teams were really in a bit of an awkward spot at the start of last week. They were able to go kind of back to back in terms of having really good lobbies, and they sort of secured themselves inside of that top 20 relatively comfortably. And there is every opportunity for maybe like a team like VP, obviously was maybe one that you were alluding to, Genome, as being one of the big names that might potentially miss out. But they have caught 2 lobbies to play today. If they come out, play 2 banger lobbies, then they're right back into the mix, into that discussion. And I guess that's kind of the job that they need to get done today.
Yeah, and you look at the bottom of that leaderboard, right, when we're thinking about all 30 teams and where they stand at the moment, and obviously VP has the most potential out of anyone in that bottom 10. That's is absolutely no surprise or no worry to anyone at all. But obviously, they've struggled so far. I mean, they're in 27th, right? That's just not something that we would expect of someone like, Pricey, who's been an incredible player on the world stage and shown that he can mix it with all of the best of them. Obviously, SaWeiQi has been the best at one point. He's lifted the trophy. So, I really think that there's... I'm struggling to not believe in them, if you know what I mean. So I would really like to see a late run from them to get into the top 20. Obviously, at this point, it's impossible, if not, or almost impossible, if not completely impossible for Virtus.pro to actually make land via points qualification. They just need to make that regional final. Forget about the rest of the split and then look to just take that top 1.
Yeah, and another team that I'll be sort of keeping a close eye on is No Credit. We've seen them in Split 1. We've seen them, they haven't made it to, I guess, a regional just yet, but they have been performing incredibly well. And yet, I think last week really showcased exactly the skill of this team. They managed to get themselves a win. It was such a really close, exceptional fight for them. So, they're sitting on the cusp at the moment to get into that top 20. So I'm going to be really eager to see how they, go throughout the games today. But we love sort of seeing all these teams just get themselves into these positions and change. We know Dreamfire, we've been talking about them a lot as well. They were struggling at the start of Split, and they have made an exceptional comeback. So just like you were touching on, Genome, I also have faith that VP could do something like that as well. Of course, we're going to see how they play throughout the matches, but we've got some major changes with Apex. And who better to introduce one of the biggest change to competitive than Rain Day? Let's take a look.
Hey Legends, today I'm here to explain the new ALGS POI draft system. This format change aims to even the playing field while challenging teams to adapt to different POIs and different playstyles. How, you might ask? Well, this is how it works. Prior to the Pro League regular season, each team receives a random assortment of draft picks for match days 1 through 9. The assortment is perfectly equal, meaning if a team receives the first draft pick, they'll also receive the 40th draft pick on that match day. This draft style is called a snake draft, and the order of draft picks changes with each match day, which means that teams may not always get their preferred POI. On draft day, each team will make 2 draft picks, 1 Storm Point drop spot and 1 World's Edge drop spot. Strategizing is crucial, as drop spots on both maps are up for grabs at the same time. There will always be more drop spots than teams, which means that even if you're the last pick, you'll have multiple options to choose from. Once a POI is chosen, it's off limits to all other teams for that match series. On match day, each team is dropped from an individual dropship above their drop spot. It is a whole new ALGS. Well, I hope that explanation clears things up on how the POI draft system is going to work in the ALGS. If you want a more detailed breakdown, check out our latest blog post and follow Play Apex Esports on X to stay up to date with all things ALGS.
The POI draft system has been such an exciting change. We see new play styles and our teams having to adapt to different landing spots, which makes for some epic entertainment. Our first 3 matches will be on Storm Point. So that's our groups A versus C. So we're going to be seeing them sort of compete and use, this POI draft into their favor. We have noticed that a lot of players tend to, pick Storm Point first, Genome. And we're finding that, throughout the couple of weeks, it's still the same.
Yeah, it has sort of continued along that trajectory. Of course, we have changed the map rotation going into the latter half of the season. So we are starting now with Storm Point rather than World's Edge. And yeah, it means, I guess, those teams who, find that map better, want to start off on over there and have a good start to the day, can look at doing that. Teams that decided to, to pick over there first, Outside went for Cenote Caves in the second overall draft pick. That's an interesting one to me. So certainly there'll be, some teams, as you say, going for that World's Edge lace, but, I think we're seeing the POI draft system evolve a lot as we go through it because it's also new.
Yeah, and you're right. And, it's still only been a couple of weeks, so we're still sort of collecting data just to see, how this all works. But let's take a look at our landing spots and exactly where our teams have chosen on Storm Point. So, Genome, we have it here. We're ready to go. We're going to have a look at this. A few teams we've noticed, sort of selecting, Storm Point as their first map here. I can see Legends Gaming over there at one of probably the best picks for the mill.
Yeah, Mill's been an interesting one, actually, because if we have a look at some of the stats around, I'd say Mill is actually probably been underperforming in terms of how high it's picked, the average draft position, which I think across all of the regions has been about 9th. It's been picked on average, but it's in like the bottom 10 in terms of average points per game, sitting at 4.7, which is like half of, say, Barometer. So that one has been honestly quite interesting in what was previously seen as a very good POI, but who knows, maybe just the other teams haven't been as good. We did see something repeated there, which we've seen in a couple of previous weeks, which is where WarMonster FireBird have taken Sito's station away from Legends Gaming, they were the ones who moved over to Mill. They obviously have done very well from Sito, massive games so far this split, but they're going to have to try it a little bit different from a similar spot over in the Mill.
Yeah, and a very interesting, I guess, really good pick from Virtus.pro there, Elfish. Devastated Coast, not being sort of picked up earlier. It's sort of at the 36, they got to get what I would say quite a good drop spot.
Yeah, I mean, look, hopefully they're going to get a couple of zone pulls down south as well, just to make life a little bit easier. I think at the end of the day, when we're talking about Virtus.pro, they need to not only get themselves comfortable with their drop spots, but they also need to get a little bit of luck to be able to make today work and make it into that final 20. And obviously beyond that point, then they're probably going to need a little bit of luck when they are playing in those playoffs as well to try and win that lobby. So you kind of need to see everything going right for VP. I tend to agree with you that this isn't like the most awkward position that they found themselves in just based on that initial drop location. So I'll cross my fingers for them. But the issue obviously is for VP. Like we saw how they started last week and it wasn't good, right? They, were constantly losing players early on rotates. And again, they're going to potentially have to be forced to make some big long rotates out of that position. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes quite pointedly in their direction for maybe the first 10-15 minutes of this first game, just to make sure that they can get through all of those early sort of, intricacies and make those rotations cleanly. And hopefully then they're going to be able to convert that into some big games. But the first port of call, of course, is just going to be putting themselves in positions to even be remotely close to having a conversation about having a decent game. So you need to get that first step done before you really start to converse about all the rest.
Yeah, so if I'm having a look at last week, Virtus.pro 15th, I guess, for their 6 games that they did, it's not a very, usual position for them to be in that sort of circumstance. We've seen them on the live stage, as Gino was saying, I'm sure the team's probably feeling it a little bit. But yeah, it wasn't something that we're generally used to Virtus.pro doing. Another team that we've sort of been keeping an eye on as well is Geekay, previously known as Boogie Borders. They are, I guess sitting in a better position, but, we're so used to seeing them in the top 10.
Yeah, they get the pick up, but they've got to live up to that sort of reputation, don't they? And as you can see, they've got quite a ways to jump up there. You got to remember, we've lost spots, we've got less, not less than ever, because we used to only have 5, but certainly less than we did in Split 1 for APAC-South in terms of how many teams will qualify going to LAN. That's going to be the top 7 for us. So you can just draw a little line under BearClaw there and say anyone who finishes the season on this particular leaderboard in the top 7 will be making it to the Split 2 playoffs, and anyone below that will not be joining them. So yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool to see X and Y up there, who had a cool start to, a good start to the year, showed a lot of promise, and then, didn't quite make it. They've been close a couple of times, but it feels like there's a good chance they can do it this time. But there's a lot of teams hungry for those spots, right, Lace, that are pretty close at the moment. The ones sitting there, down below there, Dreamfire with the new pickup. Definitely one of them. Vegas Inferno, a team that I think has been one of the most improved in APAC-South out of any of them.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you. Seeing them sort of just come into fruition and amongst some juggernauts in this lobby. We've obviously always talked about Legends Gaming and Mkers, but yeah, I guess to sort of be above someone like Weibo, who in Split 1 we talked about them a lot too. Wonton Dumpling was always sort of on our lips, and to have them sort of go and above and beyond that, we did see a really good comeback for Weibo in the 12 matches that we had last week. So I don't know what they've done. They've taken back, they've done the VOD reviews, and they've definitely, come back as the ultimate steamrollers for us again, which has been really exciting to see. But yeah, a lot of these teams that, we haven't seen too much of, including Vegas Inferno, have been doing extremely well throughout this Elfish. But I guess, another one we've sort of been looking at is Guild Esports. They struggled a little bit, I would say, in the first couple of matches, but another team to, you know, utilize it and bring it back in.
Yeah, 21st there in the world rankings. Now, I mean, look, how much can you really read into world rankings when it comes down to sort of ranking points, ELO, whatever, you know, algorithm or formula they're using to sort of figure this out, without having the teams necessarily play against one another all the time. Obviously, you know, you can sort of draw some conclusions and you can say, yeah, this might be fairly representative. But at the end of the day, you're not really going to find out until you get to see these teams playing at an international competition, which, you know, to be fair, it's not too far from that kind of time once again. And for Legends, I'm kind of crossing my fingers, hoping that they're going to be able to keep that third or potentially even improve upon that, just to kind of, again, prove a point about this region.
Yeah, and to be so close, I guess, to like a super team of Team Falcons, Legends Gaming at third, Genome, that's pretty exciting stuff for us.
Yeah, it's so exciting to see them that high up, and you know, the fact that we've got Mkers not that far behind them. I mean, VK Gaming, this might be the first time they've actually ever made it into one of these power rankings. Obviously, a team that hasn't made LAN before, but you know, has a couple of members that I'm, you know, keeping my eye on more and more, and I think a lot of other people are after their first place last week.
But yeah, it's just, you know, I guess it attests to this region. You know, as you said before, we don't have as many spots as last time. So we add about 8 down to 7. Not too much, but like you said, more than 5. You know, and obviously these teams are going to be competing for some money as well. You know, we're going to try and get our top 20 teams today to put them into the regional finals, which is, of course, going to be a match point format. But, you know, they're always playing for some cash monies as well. You know, our prize pool has improved a lot since, you know, last couple of years. We're handing out 20,000 to the first teams, and you know, for showing up you get some money as well. So it's been really exciting to see this region flourish a lot more, some more eyes on it, you know, because we have sent some amazing teams over to NA who seem to be, you know, doing absolutely well throughout all the epic teams that, you know, America has to offer. So it's always good to see more and more teams sort of get to those top spots and be able to progress their career in that sense. But yeah, I guess we're going to be sort of keeping a close eye on teams that are sitting around 18th to maybe even 24th place. They do have like that opportunity to sort of push themselves up. I've been, you know, really excited to see Grape Soda's, I guess, journey throughout this entire thing. They, you know, are a team that sort of just came in and amongst everything. I know that they were sort of finding it difficult in the first couple of weeks, but it was really good to see them be able to get those wins that they so desperately wanted and really take back a lot of knowledge from previous games and exert that into, I guess, World's Edge. I feel like they're a dominant team on World's Edge, Elfish. So hopefully we can see them do incredibly well again. But guys, it is time for us to get things started. We're going to look for our top 20 teams. We have 12 matches today. Let's head into our first one. This is World's Edge.
Storm Point is where we're at. You're right. Yeah, that's where we've ended up. Hey, look, it's all good. There will be World's Edge, and there will be plenty of World's Edge today. It's going to be a big day. We've got 12 games of Apex Legends across 2 lobbies, and this is game number 1. So you can strap yourself in for a pretty good afternoon, evening, morning. I don't know. There's probably people watching from overseas. Shout out to those people pulling the night shift just to be here for APAC-South. We appreciate you. And of course, yeah, everyone involved. Look, looking forward to today, you know, because it is the last day of the group stages, and that means there's a lot to play for. We'll keep our eyes quite peeled on Virtus.pro. You can see down there at Devastated Coast, already going to have to be making a pretty big rotate. And I remember WarMonster FireBird being part of that conversation when we were looking at the drop map, and that choice of Sito Station came into play there, and already looking like a pretty good shout with that couple of zone pulls.
Yeah, it's straight on top of them. I mean, you know, Legends essentially get second priority, so not too bad. And, oh, wow, not even just that, but Legends actually go directly past an Evo Harvester on the way to Sito. So in terms of, you know, having to make that trade-off between do we level up Evo armors early or do we... you know, go for zone positioning, they kind of get both. That's actually incredibly helpful for them. But yeah, look, I mean, look at some other teams that are thinking about it. We do not have a ring console in Jurassic for Vegas Inferno. And so looks like they were maybe even just fighting over that Evo harvester in between here and Pylon, and just chucking out some shots towards BCG to start with.
Yep. Solid said he wins the race, though. That's what these teams are going to be thinking about, so that they don't get anything too untoward happening too early on in the day. Oh! Well, Limo. Don't want to be messing around with that white armor for too long. It's not really a happy place to be. I suppose it's better than the days where you dropped without any armor at all, but still doesn't really give you a whole lot to work with. BearClaw Gaming. You're in the Pylon. You know, really seen too much from them. It's kind of been like surprising necessarily this season. It's been pretty tried and true, pretty standard stuff. They've more or less been going about things the way that they would have hoped. Already though, Kisan's down on the floor at the back of an Arc Star, so that's not the start you'd want for the final day of competition.
It looks like it's just some, you know, a bit of a drive-by, and Lahim, he does have to burn the wall, but, you know, this early in the game, you've got plenty of time to get those cooldowns back up afterwards, so they're very happy to trade that for a res, and they will actually be fine just sitting on this the sort of southern side of the building here, as we're looking at some other teams going even further into Ceto. You've already got True only actually managed to make it there with 2 players, as well as Kill Devil, and then Legends taking up the building to the west. So, I mean, we had a Ceto station last time I was casting 2 weeks ago, Elfish. There was a zone that actually pulled up into checkpoint.
Okay.
And yeah, it was, you know, the second ring was a little bit different to this, but it did actually pull up there and, you know, bamboozled most of the teams. Actually, it might have been an NA, but either way, like, it was, you know, we have seen this throw some teams off before. This one looks a little bit more centered on Ceto, so I'm probably a bit more comfortable in calling it as pulling all the way into Ceto. So I think these teams that have set up in the buildings are going to be golden.
Yeah, look, generally the way you have to think about it is look at where the biggest clump of players are, and 9 times out of 10, that's probably going to be where it's going to pull. Because, well, these guys do it. In most cases, a lot of cases, they do it for a living, and in some cases, they do it a lot longer than we do. You know, they put a lot of time into figuring out these rotations, these zone shifts, and positions, and where's good to play and where's not good to play, and stuff like that. So, kind of got to give them some credit. Just take their word, not necessarily for gospel, but the safe assumption to make that most teams are assuming that it's going to go over Ceto. It's probably going to go over Ceto, and see whether or not we're going to be proven correctly. But as has generally become the case now, since the drops have sort of changed up and shaken up this season, you tend to get some quiet early games.
Yeah, it just depends whether you've got, you know, how many teams are playing Evo, whether it's, I think it depends a lot on where the circle pulls as well. If it's a more central pull, then teams do get a lot of time to, even if they're on the edge, you know, farm up Evo, go for the objectives, and not have to worry about the other teams too much. But if you do get, you know, one that pulls it to, you know, let's say Devastated Coast, North Pad, around the trenches and all that, that will force teams into conflict a lot earlier. So yeah, it can just depend a little bit on where the old Circle RNG does lead us.
Yeah, look, I mean, Ceto Station has got a lot of little nooks and crannies that you can play into, and even if you're a late rotator, there's still quite a lot of WarMonster FireBird just getting eliminated out of nowhere. But I'm saying there's, you know, there's a lot of positions that you can play. There's a lot of buildings, and even worst case, you can backfill into things like checkpoint. Still quite a lot of playable terrain there.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to quite see the whole story there, but it looks like True have taken over the building that WarMonster FireBird are in, just as a duo. So I don't know if that was like an incredible push there by Rogers and Fixeria, or if perhaps they got a little bit of help from BearClaw Gaming and Heroez. There's definitely enough teams around there that, you know, they could have taken some chip damage from any angle.
Yeah, but obviously they managed to get that position. They're only a duo. Doesn't necessarily leave you with a whole lot of proactivity available going deeper into this game. I know that they're going to be able to find the revive. Although, having a quick look to see, they got themselves a mobile respawn beacon? It looks like they have. Anyway, Zone's going to pull right on top of them, so they shouldn't be too disappointed by that either. And if they can maybe get Grand back into play, then it's going to be a position that you could actually start thinking about maybe winning the game from. And that respawn is happening right now as I speak, by the way. I'm watching it in game, so see if Grand can get back on the ground and get that death box. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, nice. They got the smoke. It'll be all good. Yeah, not only that, but I don't know. I think his death box was further out, but obviously he's got plenty to choose from there with WarMonster, FireBird coming in. So just thinking about the other teams who are taking their time. I mean, because, you know, Cedo, it's not Skyhook, right? It's not that big. There's not as many buildings. It very much suits those teams who get in there early with a Watson, with a Catalyst, and are able to, you know, sort of bunker up nice and early there. But that's why we're seeing teams like Akuma, who didn't even have the ring scan in the end, but just popped the survey beacon over at Jurassic. Probably took a look where everyone was sitting in Cedo and were like, I don't know if there's a lot of space for us there. We might actually just have to play for some KP on the outside. And I think there's quite a few teams that are going to be in that sort of bucket, in that situation. Teams like Akuma, outside, SWQ, pretty much anyone who is still rotating in now, at this point, is going to be struggling with that. Geekay is probably the furthest outside within that sort of, what's that, zone 3, that are going to be able to do some good gatekeeping against, like, you know, Mkers, XMY coming in. So, yeah, Virtus.pro, though, they've actually managed to slip in really late here. That's a very good rotate there by BP. So, you know, certainly a few of us cheering for that storyline here today. That's a promising start.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they're allowed to take that building so late. I think that would have been picked up by somebody else earlier on, but nice cheeky little one from BP there. And be quite happy with proceedings so far, but obviously requiring some big games today. Can't be resting on their laurels, and they're going to be pushing forward. Makers really need to do much the same thing here right now in Cascade Falls. They've run into X and Y, and they've actually started that engagement quite nicely with the initial knock onto YC. He's going to go down in that meanwhile, but Asia having a solid time against XT is going to win that duel and just has to dodge the fire and flames on his way out. He'll survive. X and Y have been eliminated, and he should be arrestable here, though. There are a couple of teams starting to backfill their way into Cascade Falls, and maybe Makers have to try and make a swift exit here as a duo.
Yeah, EVOS Predators are on the back of them, and then you've got GK. They were just sort of peeking their heads in, hoping that maybe they'd get a stray bullet and catch one of them off guard, steal a kill perhaps over in Cascade. So Dexter going it alone now as, yeah, EVOS Predator come through on the back, and that's, yeah, just very unfortunate timing from Makers. Sometimes when you take those fights, it's like, well, if you don't do it cleanly, it doesn't even matter if you win the fight. You're still done for.
Yep. Mutually assured destruction type vibes. Predator will be slowly making their way in on the northern side of Cascade Falls rather than going through south. Either way, they're going to run into a team or two. This northern route takes them into Grape Soda's position. Oh. And the ring pool's going to keep them pushing forward, so they will have to go through Grape Soda inevitably.
Yeah, this is a fun one. Not like a crazy shift like that one we sort of checkpoint that I was talking about earlier, but certainly one where a lot of the buildings will become useless essentially sooner rather than later. VP actually quite lucky in the fact that they've played the most northeastern building within Cedo, so either they'll be safe or there'll be about 8 teams hitting them. I guess we'll see which.
A little bit going on for Grape Soda at the moment as they try to camp EVOS Predator out of the zone. Let's see what they're thinking.
Just got to be careful of tunnel. Make sure you keep checking tunnel. It was them. No, it's Cascade. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
These guys have 25 seconds. They have to do something. The evac, we let them, right? They're bang ulting, I think. Do you want to queue out of it or just like dodge it inside?
Just dodge it inside, I think.
Dodge it up on me as well.
I'm just dodging it inside.
They haven't moved. Almost got one.
I'm gonna Horizon ult them.
Yep, go for it.
Get a cack too.
I'm getting shot at in the back. 40 on all of them.
Nice.
I Horizon ult to that corner.
Start getting nades on it. Start getting nades on it.
40.
A team on the back strapping. Team on the back.
Hey, you gotta come out of building. Come to our building.
I dropped outside, Loki. I have to get back in.
Yep.
I shot them off. They ran back.
I got fucked.
Almost cracked blood. Cracked one. Cracked two almost.
Nice. Scan claps and then we
Crack
fight. Scan and then we go.
Yep. I nearly one clipped one.
Scan and then go. Look at that. Blood. Someone body blocked.
Riding. They should be dying.
I got stuck. One's climbed in, two climbed in.
I'm a knock if you want.
Where is he?
I'm a knock, climbing up. Two.
Oh, Grape Soda. They have a chance to win that fight there, but they can't close it out. Even with the addition of Fussy to their team, one of, I'd probably say, I don't know, top 5 controller player in the APAC South region. That's a hell of a pickup for a team that's sort of midway up the standings here.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in terms of his experience, Level has been overseas a couple of times and has had a lot of pretty good opportunities when it comes to Apex Legends, but this one doesn't work out too well for Grape. So I think they do end up just sort of getting sandwiched in between a couple of teams there, so it doesn't work out too kindly. But at the end of the day, turn our attention to different shores, and that's what the team's going to be thinking now as well. That zone shift has kind of pulled quite substantially actually away from Sito Station out to the east. And so most teams have set themselves up actually inside of Sito Station. Vegas Inferno, perhaps the biggest winners out of that shift. But they're going to have a few teams headed in their direction and going to start to get busy as well on the eastern side of Sito Station.
What I find interesting about that was we had Heroez split holding that position actually, while SWQ is playing directly under them with the Watson. Remarkable team. It's going to go down, unfortunately. But that means Mkers have picked up quite a few swag, like quite a swag of kills, and obviously they managed to get the res as well, right? So they were down to 1 with just Dexter, but they've come back up. I mean, yeah, talking about, that's a remarkable comeback there for Mkers, and now they've bullied their way into a position where they actually might have their backs free and they can keep going into the next zone. So looking really good for them. Geekay, however, are probably their biggest threat. They are coming in behind and there's not really any other option for Geekay. They need to come in here and deal with Mkers here to wake their way into the zone.
Yeah, well, Killerpaw's making his announcement that he's back on mouse and keyboard and doesn't seem to have affected him too badly there. Nice little pick up to start things off for Geekay, and that seems to have been followed suit as well. Panna, good damage down through that smoke as it pops. Got that Rolling Thunder chiming out across the map as well. Geekay have really done a bit of a number onto Mkers. Dexter actually being finished off there as well by Panna, and let's turn to now to try to make their way actually into the zone. If they can get on top of that orange, it's not going to be a bad position to play from once the zone pulls its way in, but of course, occupying it, another team going to have to be aware of though.
Yeah, Vegas Inferno,
they've made it across safely.
They're on the inside there, and you know, they've got the Watson ready, but there's so much carnage going on over the other side. This is that building we're talking about there with Virtus.pro. Geekay actually do get eliminated there in the end. A nice wrap from Kill Devil will finish them off. You can see so many teams going down right now, but Virtus.pro have managed to hold just for the moment.
Yeah, Wei doing a good job of reinforcing those doors. They've got a moment of respite right here. Wait and see what they're going to have to do on this next rotate. Oh, they're going to go for a contest on their way to the orange. Some early damage. It's like kind of shooting fish in a barrel as they're coming through that doorway. They can Inferno and get eliminated at their hands. SWQ now on the other side of the zone, bunkering down underneath that alternator pylon, trying to keep themselves as healthy as possible before they inevitably also have to move. Our wall actually providing some decent cover for them to just have a bit of a look and find some info around the place.
Yeah, Trident also chipping in terms of keeping them safe, right? All right, This is going to be a big rotation from Virtus.pro. Let's see how the boys are feeling going into the next round.
Can we just take the 3? Okay, I'm reinforcing. I'm popping on. Does anyone have an extra Alex out? Yeah, I'm dropping it. I think they're leaving. No, they're still here. They're still there. I'm getting 7.
You have to rip a wall, so like towards cannon, and we fight left. We fight left.
Okay,
Rip a wall.
Going.
Fight these guys.
I'm helmeting.
Bang low.
Nice.
Find them. Forward.
Tree's dead. I see going. Flash dead. I'm going. Scanning up. Top. This one on top. Play close to cannon. Play close. On me. Come to me. I'm on you. We have kills on the right. Minus.
Swinging.
Yep. Bang. Kill. Bang one. Chill. Play slow. Batting as well. We're all 3 batting.
We have to kill them.
You peek out.
Yeah,
I'm going. Baby. Looking 1. Nice. Turn around. Kills in the water. Taking cannon. On me. Oh, I'm fucking stuck. Nice. Back 1 dead. Nice. I'm resing.
We got halted. I'm chilling. I'm trying to look. I can't.
I'm biting.
25 on 1. 50 on another. I have to bat.
I need full heal. Yeah, full healing.
I have no energy. I'm grabbing ammo.
It's a straight free.
Yeah, close.
On cannon. I need to reload.
Swinging.
Left side.
Oh fuck.
Oh, I whiffed. Holy fuck.
Few track.
Knocked down.
Fuse 30 flash.
I'm dead.
You got that. Good luck.
Oh, Virtus.pro almost get it done, but Akuma in the dying seconds there will finish them off. I mean, look, we saw Legends swing in as a duo, and for them, you know, they knew they had to go, right? They knew that there was a chance VP would be wounded, would be bleeding, and, you know, there was a chance that Legends could have perhaps, you know, played for second there, Lace. Doesn't you know, work out, but I think it was the right play. But then yeah, Akuma, actually I thought they were also just maybe a little bit too hesitant, you know, maybe not as experienced in those sort of situations. Didn't full send like Legends, but the slow play worked out in the end.
Yeah, you know, we saw them sort of fighting across against Legends Gaming, while a great feat from Virtus.pro, they're taking down Kill Devil, and then seeing that swing from Legends Gaming and taking them down as well. You know, they're sitting 27th on the leaderboard currently, so, you know, today is high stakes for teams such as Akuma, who just took the win, and obviously Virtus.pro, who just managed to get second place with a bunch of kills there, Genome. So it's really exciting just to see these teams, you know, fully lock in the passion, because they know it's a little bit make or break today.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Virtus.pro aren't clutch, right? I mean, in split 1, they were, you know, at risk of not qualifying, and they came and finished off the split very strongly to make the split 1 playoffs. Now, the job they've got ahead of them here in split 2 is much harder. There really is only one road for them in, and that's you know, just making this regional finals and then trying to finish that off. But if they can keep playing like that, there's a chance. There's every chance, Lace. You know, the way that they picked the building was incredible, and then even that last rotate to the cannon was pretty impressive too.
Yeah, and as we see Akuma there in first place with 6 kills, you know, that is, I guess, something that they really needed to do today just to get things sort of kicked off with Virtus.pro with 9 kills. Obviously, they took down Kill Devil and, of course, our leading, you know, series leaders here, Legends Gaming. So that must feel pretty good for them today. Let's hopefully they can, I guess, continue to lock it in. But again, Legends Gaming still in those top positions. They, you know, are sitting, 99 on the series leaderboard. You know, they are out in front. They've got such a good, I guess, forthcoming, you know, above the rest. So, you know, they're going to definitely try to keep that top position from anybody. But Kill Devil, you know, they're currently sitting about 13th. They're in that, you know, top 20 sort of spots already. So they're just going to be playing a little bit nicely there, Genome. But yeah, what a great start for Akuma and Virtus.pro.
It was a good one, and that means that they actually tie Akuma with all of the kills that they managed to grab in that game at 18 points apiece. So Virtus.pro with not necessarily the easiest rotate up from devastated Coast. convert very well in game number 1. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, you know, a couple of other teams just not lagging too far behind them. Kill Devil, certainly one of the teams who have shown their worth so far this season. A decent game from them, and Legends, who had the priority, you know, don't manage to pick up that many kills, but they do make it into the top 3, which nets them 7 placement points.
Yeah, we got Grape Soda there at 13th. You know, they had a bit of a, I guess, a difficult gatekeep against MDY. Sort of, you know, getting a little bit of pressure from behind. So they struggled a little bit, I guess, to win that fight, but a good feat nonetheless. But yeah, MDY coming out of that zone genome, fighting through Grape Soda to get 9th place is great from them. So, you know, it's tough stuff today for all our teams here. But I guess Akuma, you know, they're sitting 29th. So, you know, they've got a bit of a jump to go along with Virtus.pro. So I'm very excited and, you know, keen to see that. But we're going to take ourselves a short little break. Don't worry, that was only match number 1. So we will see you after the break for some more Apex.
A couple of good shots in from the bow check. Lots of connections even here for Gugu.
So taking a bit of damage. Now the Rolling Thunder going to be played, but we're watching still. The bow check. 2 beautiful things!
Looking for some more. Dan's going to go through, and that should be...
out early, struggling to make that kind of impact, given you have a star-studded roster to cover. And Legends Gaming skill is one. Legendary. That's again, but this time around, they're the ones losing out against MXF, who are in position. A jump in.
So, we'll try to make it on his own now.
UI leaping onto no credits now. They have the height. They're dropping down into the pylon. XX gets mowed down though. Doesn't expect it's a Peacekeeper nearby. Bye so far. Fruit Salad though. There's a bit of danger. Acquaintance needs to get the reset going by Euler and Scholar trying to provide cover, but Kill Devil is on the hunt. Fruit Salad now eliminated. Bolin bringing in the lead. Levy also away the pants something from the mill. Have found one another, and it's LGD looking for that third party, but they're fighting both squads.
They want to see their 2 opponents fighting, but in fact, maybe it's a QQ of VK Gaming, and it's just surely nothing here for VK. Look at the struggle that they've got themselves into. It's fish in a barrel for Dreamfire to finish off this game, and
this spear strafing flame up close. Noel Sang the first to fall. 99 on that shot. The choke's in.
Don't see that that's going to happen. This is an absolute mess. It's a cluster of fun, might be a word to use. And how do you get through this without losing players? Well, answer is you don't. Legacy already on the floor. Bugi down to half. Below half, Jesco.
Can we triple swing the back here? Just kill him. 1, 2, 3, swing. Yeah. I stunned all of them. Here's one. I fight. Swap. Just play safe. We win this game.
I'm landing it.
Yeah. I'm gonna swing around here for an angle.
That's done.
Swing.
Let's go.
Fucking god.
Oh my god!
Is Papa still through the smoke right now? An angle here to bring the down.
We'll try and get a revive going on here, but now they've got almost a FireBird in front of them.
Just mow you down so very quickly. God, he was searching for KP a while ago. Now he gets
into the punch by Dreamfire in the last game of the day, and perhaps they might do
this. To climb, but Weibo still fighting versus BearClaw here. They got the first knock already. Continue on how it's done. And with the Octane, that extra bit of speed, that's him. It's time to go. And Luhan and Levy will send it. Kill Devil wants to fight immediately, but Benfu makes them work now, looking to take the fight towards KPG here. Tree Cleaner cornered, and he will just be felled by Vic Liao. Next on the list might be the rest of KPG through the smoke. HKUF will push, and they're fighting really well today. Bible Shore making them work for it by the 2, but they're happy to stay on the sidelines here.
Oh, big spam from this Devotion.
Right here, cut the ribbons by Rogers and the rest. Akuma is gone here. Same can be said for the rest of SWQ. A single member left as True takes advantage. And watching from BK, finding a squad to fight, and Tree Cleaner is just cut down.
Be happy. Set up, and we both. I don't know, they're going to be under the pump at the moment. Pete, God, he's gone for the double! No way. It might still be a world in here. MXF trying to hold on, but Weibo
managed formation, but BP is the one all together to run into Walsh here, who's alone, isolated from the rest.
Was thinking about taking matters into their own hands, and now the fight really starts to ensue. That's a
remarkable team also taking this opportunity. They find the opposition cornered. Big Z now has been felled. It's a battle for the rock, and we'll see who'll take the game with it. A slide in from very cheeky.
On the outskirts of the map still. Could be awkward.
That Streamfire finishing off the job there. SWQ, now they're forced out, and it'll run into KPG. True also gonna be nearby. KPG can't even get into the ring. Here comes Fruit Salad, though. Push comes to shove versus EVOS Predator. It's 2v2 for now, as Grape is gonna get eliminated by Euler. Hits a good shot, and Fruit Salad searching for a final target by Euler, and Weibo will now take the fight.
Locked and loaded. Drop shocked and rocked. Say hello to the 4-0 first. Get ready for a world of hurt. Kill confirmed. Gonna add you to the list.
Welcome back, everyone, where the stakes are high for our teams today as we just completed match number 1 for Groups A vs C. And Akuma took the win with 6 kills with a couple of new players to their roster. So making some changes obviously late in the game, but it seems to have paid off for them. Genome, what an exceptional game from Akuma.
Yeah, it's a hell of an introduction. I believe it's Walsh. I don't think he was playing last week. Snoop, I think, only came in the last match day. So yeah, that's an incredible way for them to have a little introduction here to APAC-South. And Crusader, of course, has been on that team for a while. They lose Fussy. We talk him up, and then they say, hey, we don't need him, and walk away with a match 1 win.
Yeah, well, it seems to be playing in their favor. And also Virtus.pro coming in second with 9 kills, leaves them tied with Akuma for 18 points at the moment. So these are obviously the teams we'll be keeping a close eye on as they're, sitting lower in the series leaderboard. But let's find out if they can do it again. Let's head over to match number 2. Take it away.
Yeah, all right. Well, off we go. Once again, run it back. Akuma, 18 points in that first game. They won't be too disappointed by that one at all. But still a lot of work to be done today. 18 points does not a great lobby make. We saw that actually from last week. Geekay Gaming, they started today with a win. I think it was 27 points, or am I trolling? I don't know. It was 20 plus points in that first game, and then they ended up on maybe 30 points total for the day. Oof. So they had one big game, and then weren't really able to follow it up, and that's never a good sign. Although, to be fair, to their credit, they did a lot better in the second lobby that they played, so they were able to recover it. But yeah, don't want to be repeating those kinds of mistakes. And taking a look at that initial zone shift, it's going to be a hard northern pull up toward North Pad, and this is where we kind of get into that conversation that you were alluding to, actually, at the start of the last map, where I was saying, okay, well, most of the early game has been quite slow so far. You said, well, if we get a pull up to the trenches near North Pad, maybe it'll be different. So let's see.
Indeed. We do get the chaos here. With it pulling a little bit further up north there, though. This is actually a little bit of an interesting one, because I feel like we've seen a lot more circles ending sort of at the buildings just outside the checkpoint choke, or perhaps even to the east of the trenches there, Elfish. But this circle did look a little bit more north. In previous times, I would have said, oh, yeah, okay, maybe it ends up near the rocks there, out near the sea, and you get one of those fun circles where Catalyst is all of a sudden the best legend in the entire game. But I don't know, we just haven't seen so many of those lately, and it makes me think that, Watson taking a bunker early and trying to play one of those positions might work out a little bit better for these teams.
Some nice little chip damage for Yuling. As that Trident goes sailing by. That's Legends making their way out of the mill. WarMonster, FireBird will work their way in through choke point as well. But I tell you what, one team that's not really going to have to do too much is going to be EVOS Predator up there on North Pad. More than happy to stay up on that high ground for the next 5-10 minutes or so. Maybe not the same luxury necessarily for the rest of the field. We've seen True flying their way in. And speaking of setting up inside of a bunker, they don't have a Watson. They have set up inside one of those bunkers.
Saw someone out there. Stay focused.
Yeah, look, I mean, if you get in there, you're going to wish you had a Watson, but obviously you don't get that choice at the start of the game. You've got to commit to one playstyle or the other. Legends have decided that, well, they're kind of split holding at the moment, right? So you've got EG Flash doing what he does with the 2-4 on the Hemlock. I mean, look, wow, that Hemlock Havoc combination there is just so ubiquitous in Split 2 here. I think we saw some damage stats across ALGS as a whole in Split 2, and both of those guns essentially had like 5 times the damage of the next most used weapon. So you really just see them everywhere at the moment as MDY make one of the most cursed rotates, and almost all 3 members go down entirely in a car.
It happens. Some of us are better drivers than others. They might actually be able to get the full set of reses there, though. I think they're not actually really under all that much pressure, which is, I suppose, a win, all things considered. Kill Devil on a little bit more of a busy side of the map, and honestly, the longer that they stick around here, the worse it's going to get for them as teams start to push their way in behind them as well. They've kind of got their backs to one of those chokes. So, wise moves to get a bit of a wriggle on up the balloon here. It's a tough one to make work without losing a player. But, so far so good. Most of those shots not connecting. And they have managed to make it to the trench with all 3 alive. Alternator pylon goes down. And it's a good thing too, because you can see some nades already getting tossed in their direction, getting picked up. I don't know if this is going to be a position they're going to be able to play long term, though.
Good question. Have to see. I mean, I like this not too far east, I suppose. I think that's helping in terms of circle direction, but maybe we wait till round 1 closes to get confirmation of that. I mean, people are always inting for these bunkers, right? And that's why those pylons are so important, because they will throw, you know, every piece of util they've got in there, just to try and take it. They're trying to live on the outside is almost impossible. That's why you can see Kill Devil here are full sending it, and they'll do it. They'll take out Heroes.
Yeah, and indeed, it has sort of played out the way that you said that it would. It's going to be a little bit more of an aggressive kind of fight-heavy early game here with teams jostling for position inside of these trenches already. We've lost a couple of teams.
And, it was actually BCG that were grabbing the kills from the other side, by the way. Sorry, but yeah, Kill Devil is obviously involved.
Well, quite a few more exchanges happening around the map as well. It's not just this one. So we've seen 2 teams drop, but look, you can see in the kill feed yourself, there's engagements happening because Legends getting a knock here and there, and BearClaw aren't going to be shying away from those engagements either. It's definitely a little bit of a pacier game to start things off here in game 2 of the day. 2 of 12. Grape Soda now taken out 2. One team after the other just falling, and there's True now gone as well, so it's definitely kicking off earlier this time around. But maybe with those 4 teams now having been eliminated, the space will just be opened up enough. At least for the next meanwhile, before that next ring pool comes in, things might slow down again.
And indeed, it does shift west very much. Not to, you know, not out to the sea, like we were saying that it might have been perhaps a season or 2 ago where MDY is sitting, but it does go out across the west side of the trenches. Even the north pad building as well. You can see EVOS Predator holding. They were, I think it was like 16th or something coming into this game. So getting a zone that pulls towards them where they land at north pad this week. Very, very helpful. See, they've got a lot of space to themselves as well, all the way up there. Even with the fuse too, which unfortunately there's no ring console that's spawning over at north pad, because they, you know, definitely could have kept pinging that and tried to make some use there, considering how much space they've got to themselves. But oh well. Lovely view of the trenches. Don't know if
be really where I want to move into, but tell you what, it might be the best residency on offer at the moment. Times are tough. I suppose the broken pipes can do a little bit in the ways of keeping you warm in the cold winter. It is winter here in APAC South, for the most part. I don't know how many of these teams are actually in the Northern Hemisphere. But at least where we are, it's winter. So we'll just go with that. Make it pretty comfortable in the orange.
Do I need to like open Google Maps to work out which teams in our region are in the Northern Hemisphere? That's actually a good question.
I feel like you've got time.
Okay, alright, you keep commentating. I'll check that out.
Alright, well, in that meanwhile, Dexter, he's under the pump actually, should get traded pretty quickly there by Asia, who actually kind of took a bit of damage for his trouble, but I'm not sure what that push was from X and Y. It kind of seemed a little bit discombobulated. Only one player pushing in, XD solo. Oh, got that initial knock, but that says overstretched the welcome. JR going down as well as Whitey, and that's X and Y with a very awkward looking push into that orange. I think they could have done that a little bit cleaner.
It's actually a lot more than I thought. I thought, I mean, you know, we call it Southeast Asia. Like, it's kind of more like Middle Asia, if I'm being real. Like, you know, like some of Indonesia is under the equator, but a lot of it is above. Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, India, Taiwan, Philippines, all of those countries that play in APAC South, actually all, yeah, above in the Northern Hemisphere. So there you go. We're the real APAC North, is what I'm hearing.
Apparently. I think the thing you got to remember about that, if taking that context in account, is that they don't really have the same concept of seasons as we do, right? When you're on the equator, it's not really a summer and a winter. There's kind of a wet season and a dry season, but in the end, HKUF are falling at the hands of EVOS Predator, although Jack Cute is down on the floor. So this position at North Pad finally being contested by another team. Like EVOS Predator, well prepared for that though, and already a good chunk of damage coming down from that Havoc. It's HKUF that do get eliminated in 15th place, and EVOS Predator will hold on to their drop location for yet another zone pull. It's obviously good news, because again, inside of that ring, they can play here for an hour.
And what they're going to be really loving is that the teams are just doing it one at a time, right? So they actually get a chance to take those, take the KP, take even some of the loot, and then reset, right? Because RTG, remarkable team, who just pulled in with a Valk ult, no less. We've got Kong here actually pulling out the Valk pick.
Valk, Forsick, and Bloodhound. I mean, just need a Jibby in here, and it's like kind of a throwback team.
Interesting composition. Yeah, they did manage to get the reset and plenty of time here to get Jack back up. So not only that, he's back up, but he's ticking them up the top. You can see remarkable team. They've actually taken the catwalk there as the zone continues to pull north. So, you know, I was saying we weren't going to get some, you know, the sort of C ending, and that was where MDY is at the top of your screen. But maybe we actually get a little bit of it still, you know, to the right of remarkable team. There's still a chance.
It really comes down to what that rock coverage is going to look like on that part of the map. You know, is there going to be enough for maybe MDY to make the rotate through the northern edge of that zone, and is there enough able to rain up there for them? Legends going to send it into the trench instead. They're kind of dead center. These trenches are going to be fraught with danger. If you go around the wrong corner at the wrong time, there'll be a team there waiting for you. Already we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe teams inside of the trenches. Plus a couple hanging out on the outskirts, and you'd imagine teams like maybe VP, a full team, actually flying through the air at the moment. We'll catch up with them in a second. Akuma also going to have to come in from checkpoint. Those teams are really going to be looking at these trenches and saying that's kind of where we have to end up. Look at those shots. Sharky just wants to get on the ground as fast as he possibly can. Luckily, he's found a safe space to land in, but
yeah,
WarMonster FireBird on the other edge of this.
So the question really for VP on their rotation is, like, how current is their information? When you're making those late rotations, obviously you're hitting the survey beacon, and they don't have the next ring knowledge, so they're not sure it's actually pulling north here, but presumably they would have hit the survey beacon around somewhere like Cascade Falls, and you know, would be able to see which parts of the trenches are clear so that they can time and target their evac into the circle.
Right their way into the circle as well by the looks of things, because a few teams are landing expanding around them. Kill Devil just making their way into the next zone as well. Raki was a freebie. Rest of the frags probably not going to be quite as easy. They'll also have to be aware of Las Vegas Inferno, who will be coming in from behind, moving out of the buildings that they were occupying a little earlier on in the piece. Outside the ring, a team that hasn't really had much to say for themselves over the last couple of weeks. They can pull off something big in this one. Just 1 point out of the first couple of games so far, and they are really keeping an eye on Barbecue, who are hiding around that rock. No push yet to come.
Alright, well, the next room revealed. Time for them to start thinking about what's next on their plate. Kill Devil. They've guessed right, and they've got plenty of armor swaps, by the way, in their little pocket. Las Vegas Inferno. Everyone's starting to move now. Vegas with the devotion on hand for a flow. They're actually backing off. They get pushed out by the bang ult. The scan goes out, reveals VP ahead of them. So now they know they've got to either go through them, maybe they just try and sneak around on the top, or they can decide to go for WarMonster FireBird to their right.
Inferno is going to be one of the teams that I would say have the most difficult of runs to make. This territory that they have to cross, I just don't know how you realistically make that run. No other options though. They will put their heads down for the moment, give themselves an opportunity to bat back up to full shields. Here in the case of BearClaw Gaming, they also kind of have to move here, so this moving and shaking is going to have to happen pretty soon. Zone will start to pull in 4 seconds time, and all of those teams on the south side are now on their way. Las Vegas Inferno have decided they want to go out on the eastern edge of the zone. That's going to put them in contention with Mkers, who are giving up the donut as we speak, and they are well on their way. They're in fact ahead of most of the teams on that rotation, so it's probably a good timing from Mkers to make that move. Las Vegas Inferno backfilling into the donut behind them, and yeah, of course there's going to be some shots exchanged, but nothing too crazy happening on that side of the map. And meanwhile, VP do get eliminated out in 13th, so not able to put together 2 really strong games in a row. So far, no team's actually really having too much trouble on this eastern side. They're kind of all giving one another quite some space.
Well, Kill Devil were pushing out a bit and trying to, you know, make teams think twice about pushing in towards them, but as the zone has constrict, they pull back in. Geekay goes out, and Las Vegas Inferno, you can see, just trying to play this knockdown shield. They might get the reset, you never know. Oh, they need to find a spot within the zone. I don't know if they can actually crawl in time. You can see the health bars dropping. They don't make it.
Ooh, was that a stick? I don't know. Either way, good damage coming down from the ARC from the nades and EVOS Predator. They are taking this opportunity and running with it. You know, it's not so much a life gives you lemons type situation. It's, I don't know, life gives you mangoes. What's your favorite fruit? Take your pick. I think mangoes.
Cherries.
Definitely much better than lemons. But either way, they're looking pretty good. Very happy with how they've managed to convert this strong position in the early zones into some decent points here into the mid game. And now we'll see how they can go into the late game as well. Legends under a lot of pressure down on that low ground. Just have to back away.
Only one of the remarkable team members does make it out of the catwalk in the end, so Risky, unfortunately, just going to have to vibe by himself, but does find a nice little, cute little spot within the ring. He just has to wait until someone scans him at the end, I guess, is one of the issues. Then we've got Legends sitting down here. They're south of the ring at the moment, but as you can see, they're a little bit safe. Okay, they've got a couple teams ahead of them in the building. Let's have a listen in and see where Legends go in this next rotation.
He went up. Come, side, 1, 2, 3, going. Careful the stairs, I'm playing all the way far.
I'm holding the door,
Come with me!
Alright, I'm coming. Careful the stairs.
Hi, Jen.
Yeah,
left side.
We're good.
No,
It's gonna be out.
no auto cells.
Yeah, Sam.
Can we take a roof?
No auto cells. Okay.
No, roof is troll. I'm selling.
Playing here.
No idea.
I peeking right.
I got
pick from right.
Maybe you have to play here.
No, careful!
Nah, I know.
Mark, can we double peek? Can we just triple peek here for 2 seconds? Try and get a pick on the bottom team, and then we go back. Okay, ready? Don't overcommit. 1, 2, 3, go. Don't overcommit.
Oh, cannot.
Go back.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Getting.
And then they went up. This other, no, still there.
30 on 1.
Can't see anything. We're getting gas abuse. Just chill. As long as we don't die, they can't do anything.
It's safe for me. It's safe for me. Look at me.
Scanning.
They're swinging. I'm nading this. Oh.
Swinging.
Oh man. Fuck.
Well, it's not worked out too nicely there for Legends, but EVOS Predator, they continue to put in that good work and very cleanly dispatching of perhaps the best team in the region at the moment. Second for the lobby so far, 21 points, full set of reds. It's a good position to be in for EVOS. They've got to make sure, though, they don't suffer the same fate as Legends did trying to make their way out of this building.
No, they actually take their time to resupply here. They were very low on ammo, and I'm not surprised because they have 15 kills, apparently, to their name. Elfish, minimum 1,400 damage. 2 of the players over 2,200 damage right now. That is an absolute banger of a game here from EVOS Predator. Sure, the zone has dropped right on top of them, but damn, did they make the most of it.
Yeah. Be disappointed about it.
There's still 5 squads left, and they've got 15 kills.
They could have an absolute banger of a game right here if they can convert it, but they've really got to make that gauntlet run happen. Smoke's in front of them. Jack Q can't see through, but it's all good. He seems to have settled it down for the moment. Oh, apparently he can see through. A little bit of a silhouette showing. And now we come down to final few teams. Rolling Thunder is going down. I don't know if that was 1 or 2 maybe, but there's certainly a lot happening across the final zone. 4 teams remaining. Makers to control as much space as they possibly can.
Oh.
Good information coming.
There we go, it's the Skyload, giving them lots of information on the teams around them. Fifth doesn't really need it though. He's got Beast of the Hunt popping, and he can see everyone as the Havoc rips into one of these last 3 teams. Makers though, they do get a bat off, and all 3 of them still up.
Oh, he's gone straight up over the top, but he's knocked 2 straight away. That is so clean. And the rest of EVOS Predator follow him as well outside. Eliminated, swept aside by EVOS Predator. Easy as you like, and they convert the game as well. What a setup of EVOS Predator. How many kills did they end up with there? 20 kills! A 20-kill win. That is having a game and running with it. That is an unbelievable finish from EVOS Predator. Look, you can talk as much as you like about them getting a bit of a zone feed and a pull and this and that was their drop spot and this and whatever, but I mean 20 kills, that is something else.
A huge game from EVOS Predator there, Elfish. Like, if we sort of take it back a little bit, and when teams were sort of rotating into zone, you know, they were peppering some nades against Barbecue on low ground. They managed to secure that top spot in building. And then who pushes underneath? That's Legends Gaming. They had such a swift, clean wipe on them. I guess I sort of started to worry with the push out of the building and there's a zone closed in. But you know what? Jack just went absolutely ham as fuse and just managed to clear such a good path for them. What an exceptional game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of those things, right? When you see your opportunity, you've got to take it. I thought Fifth as well. Nice little timing on the push up onto sort of that catwalk. Bloodhound got the information, gets the 2 knocks, and the rest of the team follows through with the 3rd and finishes things off. But they were harassed. They were sort of fighting for their position pretty much that entire game. Like, you don't get 20 kills without having to have some kind of contest on the way through. So it's not as if they were able to do that one easily. They were able to stave off a couple of attempts at teams landing in North Pad. Then obviously they had to go up against Legends Gaming here, which is never going to be an easy team to dislodge, and then fight their way out of the building and fight their way up onto this catwalk. This is the push that I really loved. It was perfectly timed. See how much damage came down that in that initial spray, and then obviously the follow-up from the extra couple of team members. It made it for an easy win in the end for EVOS Predator. Just perfectly timed on every single fight, and yeah, I mean, 20-kill win is something pretty incredible. That certainly put them at the top of the scoreboard, you'd have to imagine, over the first 2 games.
Yeah, and as a team sort of sitting in 24th position on the series leaderboard, you know, this sort of, I guess, games is what they are really needing today to make sure that they get into that top 20th pods. But that is insane damage from the whole entire team. Elfish, they were just unstoppable. But like you said, it wasn't just, taking a third party so simply. They were fending and fighting for that building pretty much the whole entire time. And they managed to secure it with, I guess, a risky push outside, but just having team after team being mowed down. This is exactly what we want to see from EVO's Predators. Along with, I guess, Mkers, they're in second position as well, Elfish. 11 kills. This is good for them. They are one of our second place teams at the moment. So, they need to, I guess, just hold that. They will be able to. But EVO's Predator out in front. What a game, Elfish. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, most definitely. And honestly, they're one of those teams that really has to be taking everything and running with it this week. They're on 28 points on the overall leaderboard coming into today. They've got 2 lobbies to play. If they could top this lobby, they'd probably do enough to sort of secure themselves inside of that top 20. And then obviously they can look for bonus points going into the next lobby later on this evening. I'm trying to think of what the highest kill record is in APAC South. 20 kills might be kind of up there. I feel like I've got 21 in my head, and I'm just making that up out of nowhere. So if someone has a better idea and actually knows, maybe we can, figure that one out and have a chat about it after the break. But look, 20 kills is definitely a huge number that you don't see all that often. And,
I have a feeling it's 21 as well, Elfish. I don't know. Okay. I remember that number also. But, 20, I guess, coming out of our second match, usually takes a little bit for, teams to get a little bit of a steamroll effect. But they are sitting in an excellent spot for them today because, they really need to sort of get up into those top 20 teams. Another team we going to keep a close eye on is Heroez. I think they got knocked out quite early in that match. It was a little bit difficult. They were 5th in the first match. I think it was about 20th. They might have got knocked out in that second match. So, they're sitting at 20th place now. They're at the cusp. They need to do, a lot today to make sure that they can keep in that top position. But we're going to head over to a short little break, guys. But don't go anywhere because we're going to have match number 3 afterwards. Welcome back, everyone. You just witnessed a huge game for match number 2. It's a 20-point kill game for EVOS Predator. You know, this is the last week of our triple round robin, as regional finals is in 2 weeks, Elfish. So these games today are super important for our teams, and I'm pretty sure EVOS Predator got the message loud and clear because they are in front with 34 points.
Yeah, 32-point game, 20-kill win. Pretty crazy stuff from them. Look, it's going to put them not head and shoulders above the rest of the competition at the moment, because Mkers are, not too far behind them after those first couple of games, but 34 points out of 2 games is a pretty good shout. I mean, normally we would go and say, if you get to like 60 plus points for a lobby, like that's generally a pretty decent day, right? You got an average of 10 points a game. What's a decent average? Yeah, probably like 5-6 points a game. So they're already halfway there. And the vast majority of those obviously coming from one game. They didn't really do too much in match number 1. 18th place with 2 kill points. So, gotta say, see if they can replicate this or if it's just going to be a one-hit wonder, right? Because it is possible that they just have their one good game and then the rest of this series kind of just peters out into nothing. But you got to follow on with it. I mean, to be fair, they did get some circle luck and a bit of a zone feed and this and that, but you take that luck and run with it. So, can't really blame them too much for that one. And we've got one more game of store point. If they can do it once, they can do it again.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. What a turnaround from 18th place to first. But, it is, a very, very serious week for them just because they are quite low on our series leaderboard. They need to do something to be able to push themselves up, sitting at 24th. That's a little bit, just under that 20th position, but they've got, I guess a few people to pass over their way. But, let's take a look at some legends picked and how everybody is going along in this split. We still have, the classic Bloodhound Bangalore combination. This is something that we've seen across, a couple of weeks now. But I guess we've got a little bit of changes coming up, Elfish, to Apex Legends. So I wonder if this is going to be the meta, I guess, after, Tuesday, Wednesday, when we see some changes and updates to Apex.
One can only hope that maybe there are going to be some significant changes. But, hey, that's a conversation for another day. One team to note, you could see in there the Caustic and the Valkyrie, a couple of picks coming through a piece. That's from a Remarkable team. They've actually gone for that a third time in a row, just having a look at the picks coming through for this third game. No changes at all from any of those teams, which does mean Remarkable will continue with the Bloodhound, Caustic, Valkyrie composition. So they're kind of the outlier. Obviously, you're seeing the Fuse and the Watson in there for the rest, but not too much else going on.
Well, let's see if EVOS Predator can back it up again and get another 20-bomb kill. Let's take it away. This is match number 3, our final one on Storm Point for Group A vs C.
I guess one other team to note maybe is Grape Soda. They've got the Horizon in there alongside the Bang and the Blood. But yeah, apart from that, everybody else running either a Watson or a Fuse in addition to the Bangalore and Bloodhound combo. So yeah, little change-ups here and there, but it's certainly not been the most diverse meta that we've seen here in APAC-South.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah, the Horizon pick on Fussy is an interesting one there for Grape Soda. I kind of wonder how that conversation went, because obviously, he's changed from Akuma over to Grape Soda this week. Like, was he just like, hey guys, I'll come play for you, but I just want to play whatever the hell I want to play. I want to play a character that enables me. Maybe I'll just go Horizon.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they just want to for fun it. It's not going too well for Grape Soda at the moment, though, sitting in 17th, so something that they're going to have to have a bit of a think about. There's the Caustic you can see up on the selections on the top of the screen there, and the Horizon coming in as well. Not particularly the priority for the most part, but Caustic and Valk coming in with the 5% as well. So just one team running that little change up. Yeah, I suppose the Catalyst is getting a bit of play as well. It's not too bad. There's a little bit going on, I guess, when it comes to the Legends picks, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think
harkening back to like that the Gibraltar meta where it was like, okay, well, we really literally only have one combo only. But here we've got a couple.
I mean, when we've had like A and B play, it's definitely seemed like that's. I'd say it's actually seemed worse than that because you've got two Legends that are 100% pick as far as Bang and Blood goes so far this season. But yeah, as you guys were talking about, I think that is almost definitely going to change. It seems like Bangalore still extremely good, But Bloodhounds, more so, I think, has been... is going to be on the poorer end of those changes. The fact that he cannot see through ult anymore with his... through smoke with his blood of the hunt, you know, ultimate there is going to make it very, very tough.
Yeah, so once again, we'll just touch on that zone shift. It's gone down toward Launchpad this time around, so a bit of a change up again on the first couple that we did get to see. Might be good news for VP, for example, who, as we mentioned, did drop at Devastated Coast. And in this instance, won't have a super long rotation to make. This will be their quote-unquote easiest rotate of the day so far. It hasn't been a terrible day at all for VP. It's going to have to be a good day for them, so this might be the game where they can really look to accelerate. Inferno is going to set themselves up alongside WarMonster FireBird. There's definitely enough room to occupy both these teams. Although they are going to continue to jostle for position on the roof.
Yeah, there's a chance they get into it.
Not sure how long that fight should last, surely.
I mean, because they're on both sides of the same building, right? So, that said, they're both Watson teams, so, you know, you can get a lot of fences and whatnot in there. Any poke damage you do is less effective when both teams have got the passive healing of the pylon, but I don't know. Almost a FireBird pushing in again and again. There we go. The crack, the flash. They've got them cornered here.
We've got a WarMonster FireBird listening, ready to go. So let's hear how they're going in this engagement. Well, that hasn't worked out very well at all for them or for us. So fair enough. WarMonster FireBird. I don't know. It kind of felt like they were the one that were trying to force the issue there. So good taste of their own medicine, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah, interesting choice. I guess you don't really want to coexist with other teams in there, but it might be the same because Remarkable Team have actually pulled up there as well now. I mean, obviously, as you can see, there's action around different parts of this map, but yeah, we've got another fight going on in those same buildings, actually.
Well, we've got an Akuma listen in. Let's see if this one lasts a little bit longer than the WarMonster FireBird listen in.
Make it in a sec.
I'm walking up hard, I'm walking up hard.
Right side, put it, no, left side. Everyone push left. Where's last? On the build. Peek for me. One shot, you fucking idiots. Good.
What in the long ass part?
I don't know. All good though. Just stabilize.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that one a little bit more successful for Akuma as they pick up themselves a couple of kill points on their way through their rotation. Although, I just have to be a little careful. Drop that Rolling Thunder to provide a bit of space. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, playing from the south here does actually give them some reasonable options. You can go through Pylon or through the lower half of the map. They've got... That's Heroez ahead of them over at the Gravity Cannon. Those guys spreading out now, and it looks like Kissan's actually just going to go for the late scan onto the survey beacon. So this is really good as far as Heroez to give them knowledge. And then you've got Vegas Inferno finally managed to take the position in the buildings above True right now. They're not going to contest them for that like two other teams have. They're going to just play it a little bit safer on the low ground here.
I think that's fair enough, honestly. Try to keep your head down. Look, True's one of those teams that probably don't want to be getting into as many engagements as they can avoid. Saw them dropping at the mill last week on Storm Point. Ooh. Didn't really have a great day of it, to be quite honest. Like, they weren't really able to convert that. And this is kind of where I think you do have to take into account the strength of some of the teams dropping in those locations when you are saying whether is this a good drop location, is this not a good drop location based on the points that are being accrued. Sometimes a team like True, which is, you know, let's be real, like maybe not one of the top teams in this region, who play from that location, probably don't convert the points as much as someone like, say, Legends will. I'm sure that average is going to be pumped up a little bit today based on Legends' performances, but I don't know if Legends have really come out the gate swinging all that much on Storm Point either. Here's where that zone shift has ended up. Imagine that's where your little ooh came from, because it's pulled quite far east.
Yeah, spicy little launchpad zone here for us. HKUF, they're the ones who get that Godspot catwalk position. Kill Devil set up in the sewers below. So are Legends Gaming. Of course, both are Watson teams. And honestly, as the split wears on Elfish, the more and more I am liking Watson as a pick. And it feels like teams are really also working out how to maximize this Legend and make it so that, you know, you can get points, not just when you get that really early spot and, you know, manage to set up and fortify your position as Watson, but also how to rotate just using the Bangalore, essentially, right? Not having to rely on Catalyst or Valkyrie to make those rotations.
It's a key point for sure. Sort of felt like when Valk was in meta, she was a bit of a get-out-of-jail free card. Same to an extent maybe with Wraith. Perhaps to a different degree, right? It's like more about those micro rotations rather than the large sort of cross-map rotations in that case. But you don't really have that luxury when you are not running either of those mobility legends. I mean, Ashe maybe even to the same conversation there, although that's tended to be a little bit more aggressive ultimate. So different kind of a style, a bit of a slower game style I find. These rotations from positions that we've got, but who knows how that's all going to change up as we maybe head into the next couple of weeks of competition. But SaWeiQi, they're okay. They've managed to get across to the relative safety of the other side of the wall, and say relative safety, and I might have spoken too soon. Nade's going to be landing in. Crazy Kong down to no shields, going to have to pop a bat. Yuling desperately holding that shield up to try to provide some semblance of cover for his team.
I mean, this is... I feel like SaWeiQi are trying to play a late game spot in the mid game here. That is a spot that would absolutely work out in Circle 4, Circle 5. But here, when round 2 is closing, you can see how many angles people have on them right now. They are struggling, and they need to, you know, essentially all three of them just have to hug a corner here. And unless they can get that pylon up and running, which, you know, it's bigger than a Legend hitbox, right? There's every chance people are going to start sniping at them, sniping at it if they find them. Yeah, they're just going to really struggle to not take too much damage in that spot down there.
Interested to see what EVOS Predator are going to be able to do this round, because they're coming in from Stormcatcher. It's a bit of a different game for them than the previous, where they were holding off teams coming in their direction. They're actually now the ones having to make that big rotation in. Be a good game for HKUF.
Man, I can only imagine how many other teams are also pinging that spot that SaWeiQi are in, being like, hey, let's get him, let's get him.
Yeah, VP's having a look as well.
Ooh. It actually pulls a little bit further north and east at the end of that. Well, I guess more east, but it's sort of the north part of Launchpad, which means that the spot that Geekay are playing on top of the hill, where the ramp, you know...
Yep.
They're playing, I guess, the building to the bottom of the ramp. It's X and Y up the top, but that's a great spot for them. And I don't know, I feel like not one that pays off quite as much. So yeah, nice little spot for Geekay to try and redeem their spawn point.
Definitely a bit of an underutilized area of the map. You often don't even find yourself really rotating through there. It's just sort of like out on one of those extremities. You don't really find yourself there all that often, but I'll tell you what, if it pulls in that direction, it is going to be a great spot to play from. High ground is a bit of a menace. So too is Las Vegas Inferno right now. Ground's been finished off. Through on the other side of this engagement. It's been a little bit worse for wear. Nothing really too exciting for Vegas Inferno, to be honest. They're just working their way through it. Back to cover. Good thing too, because there's teams looking in their direction, so there's still some time to reset before that rotation needs to be made. Two eventually do get finished off completely.
Okay, so that's the circle pulling over to the back of Launchpad, and as you can see, a couple of buildings on play in the extremities. So not only do they get the circle to their backs, but they have the relative safety of those nice thick walls. So that's Mkers sitting down the bottom, and also Geekay up the top.
I must say I do like some nice thick walls myself.
Yeah.
It's good to have around. Anyway, outside the ring. Are indeed outside the ring. But now, they're inside the window.
I mean, when we talk as loud as we do, Elfish, like, it does help, I guess.
That's right. I've never had a noise complaint, actually.
Me neither.
I'll take that as a win, especially considering I sometimes do overnight shows, so it'll be that one. A little chip damage coming through here for Jack Cute. EVOS Predator still on top of the lobby, but not getting too many points out of this game so far. Heroez, on the other hand, a good opportunity for them to farm up quite a bit. Bloodhound finished off. It's Akuma, the receiving end of that engagement that do go down pretty quick. Smart MDY also suffering the same. And they have been dealt with. The hands of Las Vegas Inferno, who are kind of tearing a bit of a swath through the lobby at the moment. They've been doing some good work.
I mean, they had the most dangerous position out of anybody, as one of them does fall to the ring, just trying to make it in. That's super unfortunate there from Las Vegas Inferno. It seemed like they were actually so close to getting all the way back inside, but unfortunately. They do have a Moby though, so I think they might actually be able to get the res. We're watching a lot of this pop off here at the northern side of this. Nice, taking down Evo's Predators, and X and Y might be next on their list if Outside are feeling frisky here.
They have to fight their way in, that's for sure. There's no real other option. You go left, you go right, you're going to have to go through a team. Outside the ring. Try to bide their time, but there's only 30 seconds left before that ring starts to full, so you're gonna have to think about things. Grape Soda down to just LowKey, who is trying to keep the dream alive for the team, and he does it. Las Vegas Inferno have bitten off more than they can chew one too many times. Tank smokes go down, try to keep LowKey healthy. Not going to be too useful. Nicely on the other side of that has got Beast of the Hunt popped, so he can see through it. But we'll let him go.
Yeah, they don't grab any of those kills, actually. Pricey currently sitting on the old 999 damage. We're back further inside the zone here. We've got Legends Gaming taking on BearClaw. They're trying to fight it out for positioning in this building. You can see Heck has lost his life and left only Fenfu to fend for himself.
VP 7 for the lobby at the moment. I'm not sure that's going to be enough to keep their dreams alive. And they want to be continuing to push the issue. 22 points is not a bad spot to be at. This rotation, however, is going to be a tough one. I find whenever you get sort of stuck in this position on Launchpad, usually you're up the creek without a paddle. Really, there's not that much cover to play with. Maybe if the zone pulls in, they can continue to play from there. Obviously forcing them further forward, and yeah, inevitably you're going to lose someone on that cross. Pricey also quite low here, and he needs some help, but HKUF ready and waiting for them as the zone pushes its way in. VP were doomed from the start. They couldn't make the run. HKUF do lose a player to Lahim.
Yeah, I think without managing to secure purples on the edge there, that was really tough for VP. They kind of needed to either get in there earlier, or, you know, macro up more effectively. And you know, if you're coming in that late, you have to bully your way in. It's very hard to do that at an armor disadvantage. Oh, Legends get the respawn. I think that was on top of the building, actually. Yeah, they're both on the roof right now.
X and Y popping quite the brunt of the damage here underneath. Yeah, needs to find a way to get into this fight. Has got the red armor. Doesn't actually need to do too much, apparently, because XD's got it done. Bit of a resurgence game, maybe, for X and Y, who've been a little quiet today. Still 6 squads alive, 17 players, so everyone bar one a trio still. HKUF also activated a respawn beacon, so we're actually going to have 18 players in the lobby. Because on the outskirts have actually got a decent amount of zone control. This 1-2 split.
Yeah, Dexter on the Bangalore is going to be playing the right-hand side. He's trying to keep some pressure off his teammates and just buy space for this building that has served them a little bit better than the one for Geekay, of course. They did eventually get shoved out by, I think it was X and Y, took that position off them. Now they're trying to play down the bottom. You've got all the, you know, we've gone from the north pad sort of trenches and sewers to the sewers of Launchpad here.
crazy happening as that zone shifts its way in. But X and Y running out of space to play on top of the roof. Easy flash has a bit of a look. So too does player K. Struggling to get any significant damage down though is Legends Gaming. They've got to also be careful that they don't overcommit to that fight. But Crane gets knocked at the hands of Strafing Flame, so it could be another point on the board there for Legends if that one is finished off. They're really focused on trying to dislodge this team off of the roof. HKUF, I think it might be X and Y now deciding that they want to get into the thick of things as well, and they've just jumped straight on top of Legends. Another kill for XD. HKUF get finished off. That timing perfect from X and Y for the third party.
Yeah, I mean, Legends knew that they had to keep popping up there and just taking little bits of aggro to try and chip away at HKUF. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get the job done fast enough to save themselves from the triple reds of X and Y coming back up. It does look like Heroez managed to dislodge Mkers from that southernmost building. So once again, it's Dexter and Dexter alone carrying the banner for our Thai team.
Still has managed to get inside the top 5. Could have been a worse shout from Mkers. Pretty good overall standings, doing pretty good in the leaderboard for today as well. Don't need to be getting massive wins, anything like that. They've just got to keep that scoreboard ticking over, and that's what they've achieved here. Go check in the hands of JR. Doing some good work. I wonder if X and Y low-key are putting together a potentially game-winning performance in this round. Got a high ground.
Could be. Dexter's desperately pumping out ultimate accelerants. Everything he can do on the low ground by himself. Multiple teams have scanned him, so they know he's there. They just haven't been able to grab the angle onto the Mkers player just yet. But with Heroez on the opposite side to the rest of the team here, how long can X and Y stay on top of their high ground is one question. How long will these other teams be able to stay in cover? You can see that outside down the bottom there actually have a good walkthrough to the final zone as everyone unloads their mother loads onto those evac towers.
Yeah, it's going to go a bit awkward down on the ground. It's the fire and the flames. It's a scorched earth for sure. X and Y, they've been knocked more than they can chew there. JR down low, probably not getting rezzed at this point in time, but good damage coming out from XD. He's looking for more, chasing down this Bloodhound. Oversteps YC, given the luxury of playing up on height, but a 3-on-1, it's too much to ask for X and Y, and outside will take the dub in game number 3.
Yeah, nice little victory for those guys. I think it was only a handful of kills for them in the end, but 12 points is 12 points, Lace.
Yeah, no, outside the ring, you know, they had a bit of a rotate around to, I guess, that final zone. You know, they sort of swept in behind Evo's Predator, stopping them from another, I guess, 20-kill game from match number 2. But yeah, I guess they just sort of bided their time at the top of zone there. What a great sort of, I guess, sneaky little win from them. They played it, I guess, slow, and that sort of paid off for them, Genome. So it's good to see, you know, them get themselves a win under the bag, because, you know, it's another team that we need to be keeping a close eye on as we look for our top 20 teams.
Definitely will keep them in mind there. Just having a look at how this game played out. It was, you know, X and Y came through with 11 kills. Actually, the big outlier that we're going to see, you know, if we do get that overall, the breakdown stat scoreboard after this, Lace, is that Vegas Inferno went out in 12th place and finished up with 13 kills. You want to do the maths on that?
Yeah, well, that's a huge game for them. You know, they were sort of sitting outside the ring, just kind of cleaning up the mess, I guess, a little bit as they sort of make that rotate in, and a fair few teams sort of came, you know, within their path, Genome. So, you know, that's definitely something not unusual for them, for in that position that they were sort of sitting in as they sort of had to make their way into zone. But yeah, just sort of having a little peek at the scoreboard there, Genome, and that is a good game from them. You know, before we get over to it, let's have a look at outside the ring. They managed to get 6 kills on their journey, sort of as they rotated out to the top of zone. X and Y, though, with 11 kills, they had quite a good fight there. Legends Gaming and HKF was sort of trying to get that top position on building, so they sort of just waited for their time to clean up the scraps, which managed to get them a fair few kills right in that final zone.
Yeah, X and Y playing well from the building up the top of the ramp in Launchpad, and then, you know, making their way down and managing to beat up quite a few teams along the way. So Vegas Inferno, they get 13 out of the 21 kills even possible for a team that goes out in 12th place.
Yeah, and as we take a look at exactly how they did, look at that 6th position for Vegas Inferno. They move up about 2 positions. You know, they were obviously knocked out quite early, but managed to get a fair few kills to sort of push them into quite a nice spot for them. Even Legends Gaming still holding on for that 3rd position, doing exceptional stuff, being, you know, having to fight their way. They actually got zone really early on. They have to rotate, I believe it's all the way from Mill. So they got position quite early in the trenches and sort of had to push their way into the building to get into that ring. And then, you know, had that treacherous fight of the top of the building getting knocked out by HKF and then X and Y. So still a good, I guess, feat from them. It's not unusual for us to see them be able to do that sort of stuff. But yeah, great stuff all over. But I guess we have Mkers sort of sitting right at the top. But that concludes our games for Storm Point for A and C. So we're going to take ourselves a short little break, but don't go anywhere because we're going to see you back for World's Edge.
Surprise.
Welcome back, everyone. Game number 3, nothing short of amazing here in APAC-South. That was our last game for Storm Point, and Outside the Ring did exactly that. They played edge of ring to their advantage and got the win there for game number 3. It's been epic watching the Storm Point games, as we can't forget about, I guess, Evo's Predator winning that second match with a huge 20 kills genome. That has really pushed them quite to the top there, but not against Mkers, who are currently in the lead with 39 points.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Mkers have managed to get on top of a team who's balled out that hard in game number 2, but just, yeah, really showing their versatility. And I think also their survivability, the fact that they've been knocked down to 1 member and then been able to respawn back a few times.
Yeah, no, they're really sort of getting those resets underway. You know, they are sort of completing huge damage games and then being able to reset and bring it in. I think they struggled a little bit to sort of make their way into zone in the previous game. So, you know, that was something, quite a good feat, but, you know, they're collecting the kills along the way, and that is something we always see from Mkers. But as we move over to World's Edge, we will take a look at exactly where our teams will be landing. Genome, this is going to be exciting stuff as we sort of take a look at I guess who's sort of choosing first. We've got, you know, Barbecue there at Thermal Station, you know, having their 4th POI pick. That's something that, you know, I don't believe that they usually come out of there, but Kill Devil and Grape Soja are getting quite good POIs in their late draft picks.
Well, I mean, you know, it's a contest. It's Siphon, though. That's the question, right? We have been seeing in quite a few regions now, it's almost become meta to, you know, for one team at the very least to say that they're going to contest Siphon no matter what. This time it was a little closer. It wasn't like a team sort of first pick Siphon. It was, you know, being a little bit close to each other. The way that they are playing, you know, really close together there in terms of POI drafts. Yeah, look, Thermal going at number 4. I'm wondering if in days to come, Lace, we're going to see this drop down, because having a look at our stats overall, Thermal has actually not been performing that well in terms of points per game. It's also one of those ones that it's not, I think, not quite down the bottom 10, but it's for something, it's got an average draft pick of about 6.5. And yet it's only netting about 15 points per game on average. So not terrible, but it is underperforming in terms of its draft pick value, at least.
Yeah, and I kind of want to touch on Legends Gaming. You know, they usually pick, you know, World's Edge for their last. You know, they're very dominant on Storm Point, and generally they got the Geyser, but we see them over there at, I guess, Overlook. So it's just Outlook, sorry. So it's something a little bit different for them. Obviously, we see quite a few zones sort of pull into Skyhawk West, so this could be a nice little swift rotate for them. They've been sort of setting up position quite early in these matches and just getting their kills along the way. So it's going to be kind of good to see them play from what I think is a different position for Legends Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really cool to see a team that we know has, you know, been groundbreaking, been pioneering with some of the macro that they've pulled out in the past. Essentially, they made their way to that 3rd at LAN off the back of being able to play from Landslide when everyone thought it was just like a garbage POI. So yeah, I think they're definitely someone to keep your eye on. If you consider that some teams, you know, will just go for comfort picks and they don't actually want to, you know, flex around on POIs and you know, become more versatile in their macro and how they play this game, play the game. But that's not a criticism that you could levy at the Legends Gaming roster.
Yeah, no, it just seems sort of, you know, they can play out of anywhere. And we've seen that, I guess, from all these POI draft picks. Whatever is thrown in their way, they manage to come out on top and get in those top positions. So it's not something that, you know, we're not used to seeing from them. They always seem to get, you know, I guess the positions and the ring scans to make their way into zone and set up quite nicely and just seamlessly push their way in. We have Virtus.pro, obviously a team that we're sort of keeping a close eye on in these matches, you know, because they are sitting quite low on the series board. They get themselves stacks, but not without, you know, sort of outside the ring and X and Y being at more. They're quite close contention. But, you know, it could be something where they could potentially move their way, I guess, to fight Kill Devil and Grape Soda, who are going to be, you know, contesting Siphon East. So that could be something good for them. But we are just going to take ourselves a quick little break. We've just had a quick lobby restart, but that's how Apex goes. So don't go anywhere. We will see you after a short break.
MXF happy to stay inside their orange for the time being. Weibo though is right beside them. He said effectively 2v3, and this is going to be a fight for second place. Geekay Gaming have all the setup that they would like here right now.
Yep. It's perfect, right? They've got the crossfire angles, they've got the zone control, they're fairly central. Gonna be happy with the setup and Evo. No, they're gonna be under the pump at the moment. Pete, God, he's gone for the double! No way! There might still be a world in here. MXF trying to hold on, but Weibo managed to grab the second, and well, ultimately we knew it was going to be Geekay taking the dub, but Weibo have to be happy with that. But Remarkable team still have some room to work behind the rocks for the moment, so they're going to get themselves some extra time to heal on up. No credit. Just thinking about taking matters into their own hands, and now the fight really starts to ensue. That's some great damage down from Lux. First knock already, Barbecue down to 2.
Team also taking this opportunity. They find the opposition cornered. Big Z now has been felled by the Peacekeeper, and it's Barbecue gone from the fight. No credit on the opposite end. It's a battle for the rock, and we'll see who'll take the game with it. A slide in from very cheeky indeed, and that's very much so effective. No credit takes him after review.
Yeah, really could have been anybody's game though, to be honest. It was a fairly equal 3-on-3-on-3, but a chance to take some points off of Weibo now.
They're exposed here with the mother load. It's spreading so much so immensely. Big information here for Weibo Gaming. And MXF struggling to get on out. They use the Rolling Thunder to try and provide a bit of cover, but they're just completely exposed in those intentions. Dreamfire as well as Weibo. Nothing will stop these two squads from facing off against one another. And here we go now with Gugu and the rest. Pika tried to find that angle. MXF eliminated, but Weibo Gaming is unstoppable here. And they will take the third map of the set.
Yeah, they were never going to be denied, were they? They just utterly dominated from start to finish. What a phenomenal game from Weibo.
Here you have it. The Sky load into play. Shoot the top, get that intel. Weibo Gaming seeing LGD on the other front. Just poetic. Both these teams getting picked up like big Chinese lords before the start of the splits. With LGD now looking to take the fight versus Weibo Gaming. Shades of MDY White versus Wonton Dumpling. It's happening here. Pika though still in control. It's Bobo who's able to finish off Feiju. Ming Wei gonna fall too, and Weibo knows it's easy pickings now. All they need to do is clean up the rest. Dreamfire gone. Weibo will take it. It's Weibo Gaming with the back-to-back.
Yeah, back-to-back, easy as you like from Weibo Gaming, but you have to give a shout out to Pete for, once again, being able to get those extra points on the board to Dreamfire.
没事没事，绝对绝对，你去那边了，你去那边盾网，现在盾网，现在盾网。啊，别秒了。
Oh, you can hear the passion from X and Y, but the silence is deafening as they have been eliminated. SWQ though standing as a solo. And it's a struggle now for SWQ. MXF keeping things going here from up above, fueling.
Welcome back, everyone, as we gear up for game number 4 on World's Edge. Things are heating up in this region as we're keeping a close eye who's going to make our top 20 positions, Genome, because the regional finals is only 2 weeks away, so this is make or break for a fair few teams.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of a break between week 5 where we decide who makes it into that top 20 in regional finals and then actually playing the big match.
Yes, and we are going to head on over to our match number 4 as we get started on World's Edge. Let's take it away.
Yeah, second half of the lobby ready to go. It is going to be the final 3 games onto World's Edge, but if that doesn't quite tickle your pickle, don't worry about it. We've got the Storm Point coming back for the next lobby. We've got plenty more where the day has come from. It's only really just started. 3 games down, 9 more to go. This one, of course, included. And for a few teams, a team like Virtus.pro, for example, they will be involved in all of those games, and they're really trying to work hard today to try to make their way through to that top 20, which will come back in another couple of weeks to play for playoffs. And obviously we know how important that's going to be. So lots to do today, lots to speak to, and Genome here alongside me has plenty to say. So what have you got to say for yourself, Genome? What's on your mind at the moment?
What's on my mind is, was there a change to the POI draft? Because we didn't get the contest at Lava Siphon. Kill Devil, who we were looking at before, have ended up over at Mirage-Trois. Anyway, bit of a... I guess it's kind of fitting, because we got bamboozled. But yeah, that's the state of World's Edge over here, and as you can see, as Kill Devil just scanned over at Mirage-Trois, actually, they'll be getting a good bit of zone prio with the zone pulling back somewhere near Landslide.
Well, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. So we'll just have to follow through with how things are going to go. Landslide, I mean, it's not typically like the hottest drop spot, is it? But when the zone pulls in this direction, maybe it can be pretty useful. The only thing is going to be for BearClaw Gaming. Have they had enough time to loot up before teams are going to rotate their way in? Opened up the locker. And they've left Heck up on the ultimate high ground on Landslide just to... Oh, dear. What's going on here? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, Genome. We might be... Well, I mean, we are getting, I guess, another lobby restart. So, who knows what that is for? Lace is out of here. I mean, as is her right to do as the host. You know, the game started. I don't blame her. Lace is back. Your mic is muted.
That's
we can't
fine.
hear you.
You got to go and have stretch the legs between everything, and head to the bathroom, get some snacks.
You've got doggos to take care of, Lace.
That's it. I was quite literally in the living room looking after a brand new puppy that I got. So everything is torn to shreds in my living room, just like everything shreds going on right now. So I guess yes, Elfish, we've had a slight little restart, I guess.
We have, yeah. I just wanted to say, in my break, instead of doing a little walk around and taking care of dogs, I lie on the floor and have a nap for 5 minutes. So, different strokes for different blokes, I guess, is all you really have to say there. But I enjoyed my nap while you guys were yapping on about whatever it was you were talking about in that last break. But no nap now.
No, that's it. There's no time for napping, Our pros are sort of itching and gearing up and ready to go. But, we're going to have, I guess, a slight little break as our teams sort of get themselves back into position. And so we're going to sit here and we're going to chill and chat with you all. But, we're sort of itching to see a contest from Kill Devil with Grape Soda there, Genome. Take us through what you think might happen when we hit into game number 4.
Yeah, well, looks like it was the Kill Devil landing spot that was incorrect. So, yeah, I think we were meant to see the contest happening at Siphon, which is why when we saw them landing over at Mirage-Trois, we were a little bit surprised. I think it's happened a couple of times. We're still getting used to the new system, and I think the admins are as well in terms of lining that all up. So yeah, I guess, for all you contest enjoyers out there, we'll just take two and get back in there.
Yeah, we're always excited to see sort of teams fight quite early, but we're going to head back and show you some good content. So let's take a look at this small video.
This is the Split 1 playoffs, and this is Los Angeles. We have the 40 best teams from around the world, 120 of the greatest players to ever play the game, all fighting for their chance to win a LAN and to hold up that ALGS trophy. Every single one of these players have given everything they have for months to be on the stage. Because this is ALGS.
A violent sky for Reps. PK grabs the second, makes it across and glitches it. But there's no way he hits that Sensi shot.
Nasky moves in there. He has to reload. It's fine though. He beats him back. He's just better. And Yuka, can he hit the braver shot? Like a Kenny clutched it up right behind him. The melee.
Hackett swings through the smoke. The hunt is activated. He is farming.
Back there. Back on one. Kill the bang.
Back one.
They're dead. One.
And wait, and we are just sending it. So it's the IGL finds him, and here comes BR Demon for the fight of their
clear space. Yeah, nading huge nade. Longbow not going to be maybe the gun to use in this situation, but the Peacekeeper certainly is on the contest.
Something go through? Is this really happening?
Shoot the knockdown, shield comes back. Roller in hand. He can do it. Cloud9 are down.
3 days ago, we started with 120 of the greatest players from 6 different regions from around the world, and now we're down to just 60. Their journey started back in January, and this is everything that they've been fighting for right now. Only one team will be crowned our newest ALGS LAN winner, but all 20 teams will be fighting for their share of $1 million.
And the question that everybody had coming into this week, can anybody dethrone the dynasties?
Boys, but here comes Legend Gaming. And remember, can they get the final kills? Yes, they can, but sadly, there is always one more, and it's Cloud9.
But this is just opening the door for VP to come in. Sharky's return to the finals.
You see the pink here, he's trying to heal up. He gets a one-shot, the sign goes knocked. I mean, they found the crevice, but right now they knew that they weren't going to win in their position because they were pinched. TSM get eliminated and recheck Winity. Clean up shot. They drop down. Knowing to fully swing it onto them. The trade though, as Zino gets a knock onto Slayer. Frex is the last one alive. He gets a knock afterwards. And LG.
To talk about Dark Zero again, we're talking about a match point teams. This could be their opportunity to hit match point here.
What do I do? I'm pushing. One more placement is all Rejectwinity need so far. And there we go with Serenity and Dark Zero eliminated. Rejectwinity will cross that threshold.
2 teams already at match point, but we need to get that dub. They think they're safe, but they're waiting for them. They're waiting for them. The jump from Elevate to catch match point team Dark Zero off guard. No banner for you.
They don't make match point. Elevate come in.
And Elevate from 0 to 100!
Fnatic have moved up to match point here, but that might be it for them in this game. Zero goes down to Koiful.
Legends may have saved the day!
And now they're pushing down to keep it going.
Following up with Gems, the last one alive. Legends try to fully send it. It's up to them, but they take out Dark Zero.
The full 307 are back up, and they're gonna send it in. Nasky stands up.
No way!
Living! Minus! Go again! Dead!
Here come SSG!
SSG to deny Dark Zero the chance of victory. Rejectwinity now getting involved.
They want to clear out. They see kills available. They see an opportunity to clear out SSG and take control of this side of zone.
5 remain. Fnatic still alive and still approaching from the south here. And Aurora just one on their rotation. It might be 2. It could be all 3. Another match point team goes down.
Well, that is the dream that everybody is fighting for here in APAC South, of course, but there's still a ways to go. We've got to get through today. We've got to get through our playoffs in a couple of weeks' time, and at the moment the main focus is just getting to those playoffs or securing your position in those top 20. I think at the moment, like, a lot of teams are probably feeling pretty comfortable with where they're at. Still some moving and shaking needing to be done, and we'll run it back here to kick things back off again on World's Edge. 3 games of World's Edge for this lobby.
Yep.
And we'll jump into another lobby this afternoon or this evening. Later on, it depends around, I guess, where in the world you are.
Yeah, look, we've got some interesting things happening at the start here, Elfish, because of it's been interesting how the teams have drafted. WarMonster, FireBird drafting Fragment, and that's left some spots open. What that's meant is, as we see the team get together here, Legends, SWQ, Remarkable, getting together towards Grandma's house. We actually saw Grape Soda. They split from Siphon, and Loki went and looted Tree by himself. We also had Killer Pos looting Mirage Trois, which of course he couldn't do in the first time we played this game. And the team up at Survey Camp, which I think might have been Remarkable team, also got to loot Epicenter. So we had quite a lot of split dropping in this game, just because of how these POIs have worked out. Another interesting little you know, change up here with the POI draft system.
Good early positioning from SaWeiQi, but I do sometimes wonder if they're going to have enough loot to play this game out, if they're going to be the first team into that house, and they're not going to be able to leave. Certainly no doubt about that. Legends Gaming going to be the team to try and play on the roof, or potentially they're going to try and bust their way in. I mean, that's every possibility as well.
Yeah, I think they have to. Like, you can't play really that well on the roof here, and they're not very set up for it. It looks like they were definitely trying to grab Pro on this building. They haven't been able to get it, and yeah, I just don't see these teams coexisting this early in the game. I think it really is. It's a full send sort of position. You can see they've got like 2 clips of ammo. Like, why not push in there and just try and grab the loot? They need to be in a good position to do it. Like, obviously, they can't just off nothing. But they've got blues versus whites right now, so...
I mean, do they know that they've got blues versus whites, though? I don't know if they've really done a huge amount of damage to SaWeiQi at this point in time. And if you're going to be making this push, if you want to send it into this building, I think you'd probably rather do it sooner than later. If you take a bit too long about it, you're obviously going to get backfilled by teams, and they're going to kind of third-party that engagement. So we'll jump into Legends Gaming, listen in and see what they're thinking at the moment.
Hi, for heavy.
I have 100 for 30.
I have this much I can give, but I can't get to you. Just chill.
Player.
I just have gang here.
I don't ever have it.
Oh, you were pinging the havoc.
I pinged it.
Oh, I think I looked at it.
Okay. I'm gonna...
If they peek bottom, let me know, okay? I can fuck them really hard. I'm not holding that at all, guys.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so maybe Legends just decide to make the best of a bad situation. You could see it was a very close call between who got into that house first. The split positioning means, you know, maybe if they get an opportunity, they'll take it. But for the moment, Legends have to sit awkwardly on the top of Grandma's house there. But over in Skyhook, we've got True going up against MDY. MDY do get the scan onto them. It looks like True are backing out a little bit here.
Yeah, no real need to take an engagement at this point in time. It's not as if you're really jostling for a position in there in Skyhook. There's plenty of buildings that are still available. Want to hold up there. Obviously, we know it's not going to end in Skyhook anyway, so why really risk your game on an engagement in that position anyway? A bit more wise to the way. And look, to be honest, most teams taking this one relatively chill so far. Heroes perhaps in a bit more of an awkward position than most. They've got a lot of angles to cover, and so they're on the move.
I think
death box or 2 to loot.
Yeah, they're holding some of the chokes, right? And I think if the zone does end up pulling a little bit further south, Heroes will be in a sick position. We've got quite a few teams playing within Monument right now. None of them... Oh, actually, no, sorry, WarMonster FireBird does, but Kill Devil and HKUF, the 2 teams playing a little bit lower, do not have that information. So I think that's why we see them a little further south, and they're not perhaps playing in a position that maybe lends itself to wrong. But you never know, we'll see.
You can see the legend picks up the top of the screen for the moment, but quickly, Grape Soda giving up a kill point there onto Big C. Not sure how much more of that is really going to ensue, so quickly touch on those legend picks. There's only been 3 changes in terms of the compositions coming from game 3 to 4, which is, you know, obviously something to note given that we've gone from Storm Point to World's Edge. It's only Akuma, Heroes, and True that have changed up their compositions, and not drastically so. They've still all got the Bang Blood in the mix, which is to be expected. Mkers, we'll see Dexter on the floor. He's been given enough time to get that bat off, so he's fighting fit and waiting for the swing. Las Vegas Inferno having a look at this fight, and that is a perfect timing to do so as well. Akuma, 2 free kills going over to Las Vegas Inferno.
Yeah, a little bit happening over here at Epicenter with Mkers getting involved. Ziki from high ground is actually going to get some good angles here as perfectly picked up by our observers there. There's someone coming in off the back of him. They've managed to get all the way around and turn this into a 2v1. The melee finish there.
We'll take it. Asia's got a bit of work to do now, though, to recover both those banners and get the revive. Not sure that he's going to be able to get it in epicenter. We'll touch back in with that one in a moment. I mean, it's not even just about where he's going to revive. It's first about actually even recovering the banners to begin with. And
it's a bit of a classic sort of difference between the two playstyles there, right? You have Las Vegas Inferno going for the death ball, and then got Mkers, you know, they're trying to take those split positions, find some good angles, and you can see it starts off working. The fuse gets some good damage done, but then because of the eye sticks together, they do find the isolated 2v1. I feel like that's a principle that's just applicable in all levels of Apex, honestly. And definitely something you can sort of take note of when you're, you know, even if you're sitting there in your ranked games.
Yeah, Las Vegas Inferno, I feel like they've quietly been putting together a pretty good lobby so far. They're sitting in third. One of those teams that never really seems to, like, wow you, but they always put in 1 or 2 points, and there's for them. It was Asia just trying to come back to recover the banners. It was a fruitless endeavor. Ended up just being 1 more point into the back pocket of Vegas Inferno. So, yeah, like I say, like, they're third. They haven't really set the world on fire in this lobby, but they've been plugging away every single game. They're kind of having some impact, getting some kill points on the board, some decent placement points here and there as well. And they did much the same kind of last week. There wasn't really any, like, crazy games from them. But there's definitely different schools of thought about how you can go through a day of Apex Legends in the ALGS, and I don't mind it from Las Vegas Inferno. I think keeping your head down is not a bad way to do it.
Yeah, well, while we keep our, you know, our eyes on both the top 20 standings as well as the regular season standings here, Elfish, to see who's going to end up where, you've got to remember that they're knocking on the door. They were in 9th place overall and just a couple of points away from LAN qualification as it stands. So big day, you know, a top 3 from Las Vegas Inferno would go a lot of the way, honestly, to getting those players and seeing them their first Apex LAN event.
Let's reposition here.
Gaming not in a particularly bad spot geographically on the map, but down to 2 players means they're going to have more of a difficult time working through the end game now, which is still fighting over this building, which ultimately ends up not actually being God's spot for this game. They not even really want to take this fight anymore, but they're kind of locked in. They're kind of having to stick around. Easy flash low. And no push just yet. It really is more of a jostle for position than anything else.
Not only that, they don't get the ring pull, Elch. It keeps going south. That position that Heroez had that we were harping on about before, that is going to be a great spot. Even better than that. A little bit further up the hill, I think, on the high sort of, you know, snowy rocks. Yeah, very much where we're looking at with outside here. Actually, perfect timing for them to come in and illustrate what could be a god spot. They're, you know, they're pulling in some. Oh no, I thought it was the respawn beacon, but they were just getting on top of the crafter here, playing around this sort of area though. That's some extra good cover. Oh, they did actually. They put in a respawn beacon as well. So they're creating a little bit of a barricade here, which will help them in getting a lot of points as long as they can hold out teams like True, who are still coming down from that sort of countdown Skyhook side.
Turning the house into a home, you know, making it their own. Love to see it. A couple of shots there with the hemlock from Fenfu, but not really enough to cause too much of a ruckus just yet, though. These nades might be, again, some good follow through. There's a crack as well onto the Reds. YC in there to get rid of Grape Soda. Wow, that was quick and dirty from X and Y, who maybe are in the similar vein as Las Vegas Inferno. You know, they've been plugging away, but haven't done anything too crazy just yet. YC, oh, that might have been crazy. XD's gone down as well. Oh, it's gone from good to bad in the blink of an eye for X and Y. 2 players on the floor, 1 confirmed. And Las Vegas Inferno, their fates may be intertwined alongside X and Y. I'm going to drop off of the high ground, off the cliff, and try and get into Fragment for some semblance of safety.
Yeah, they just tuck tail and run. There's a nice building that they've got set up there down the bottom. They get away with the Watson, which means there's a chance that they can try and live. Exactly what Remarkable Team are trying to do. But it looks like Geekay Esports here potentially going to get the better of them. The slow fight while they wait it out. The gas grenade from the Caustic, that's buying Remarkable Team time, but once that gas is done and dusted, so might they too be.
Okay. A tough day for them, but here's some points on offer. Desperately needed points. How long is that going to last though? Because Player K's managed to get a knock on the Killer Paws, and SWQ in the meanwhile do get eliminated by Legends. So they're fighting a battle on multiple fronts. Legends are. And they're making it work. Arcsark. Stick doesn't connect. That's the end of GK anyway, so lots of points there actually for Legends in a very brief moment in time.
Yeah, GK going to be ropeable about that. I mean, you know, they probably would have won that fight so much faster if it hadn't been for the delaying tactics of the Caustic, but maybe that's when you have to make that really hard decision, that really hard call and say, hey, we can't finish this fight off safely now. We might actually have to dip, even though we know we can win it, which they did. They lose their lives for it in the end.
Player K's found a Kraber out of somewhere. That'll come in useful a little bit later on down the track. Maybe even right now. Good 112 damage straight there, finished up with the sidearm, but Legends very quickly dispatched of MDY, choosing their moment quite wisely. I don't know how wise it actually ends up being, because that potentially ends up being an overcommitment. Zone pushing at their back. It's just Bebe left alive. And MDY sitting in 12th for the lobby at the moment. Really going to be likely to get too many more points out of this lobby.
Okay, HKUF, they need to try and repel Vegas Inferno now. The zone has pulled over here. It was LVI have read this beautifully, and if they push out this premium position that HKUF are sitting in right now, it could be a game-winning play by our up-and-coming team.
Got to finish off these electric fences first. Vegas Inferno not trying to get overly aggressive into the building just yet, but some good damage. So they're taking some back in response. And X and Y in the meanwhile off screen do get eliminated. To the true. Dominoes are starting to fall. The zone's getting small. Teams getting forced into the western side of Fragment.
Yeah, that's sort of, you know, the monument building actually does provide homes for quite a few people. There's a lot of separate little rooms that they can set up with there. Unlike LVI, who are just sitting on the outside now, they're, you know, in an awkward position trying to get angles through the walls onto HKUF, through the windows. Maybe even trying to force the door down and just preemptively firing the other angles in order to try and keep other teams like VP at bay who are playing on the other side. So there's two teams kind of sandwiching HKUF, pressuring them from both sides. And I guess we're going to see whether they get crushed between them or if the pressure turns them into diamonds.
That's pretty clean. Yuhang. HKUF about to lose Crane though. Oh, he just gets upstairs in time. Got to get that medkit off in relative safety. The scans revealing a couple of positions, and maybe need to reveal one or two more. This is a position that's fraught with danger for HKUF, but they are threading that needle nicely just in terms of surviving. Having to work hard for that, but you still have 3 players standing. For now.
Yeah, I mean, VP helped them get rid of LVI there. They are actually going to get the reset. Price, Sharky needs to hold for Price. He does get the res onto Wei, but immediately the re-knock comes out. Maybe Sharky buys a little bit of time with that knock. Do they want to go further or play for the reset? They don't even get the time for it. HKUF get the KP. They maintain their position.
How long is that going to last? Because there's a bunch of teams around here. Heroez up into the top 4. Kraber in hand. The shot doesn't connect. It's almost shotgun sniping at this point in time. The distance is not too far for Lahim that he really needs that kind of a scope on anymore, but I'll take it any day of the week, even if it is 100% ideal. But out into the zone, picked up and basically thrown into the bin. Heroes do get eliminated by Kill Devil. This is just a messy game for everyone involved. Just so little room to work with. Essentially, you make one wrong move and you've got 2 or 3 teams looking at you.
Well, we've got some changes coming to those Bloodhound perks that we just saw get chosen there in the upcoming patch. So that'll be, I believe that'll be in time for the regional finals. But for now, you can enjoy the, you know, the extended duration on the Beast of the Hunt. Being able to see through all those Bangalore smokes, make the most of it while you can. 4 squads left alive here. EVOS Predator have quite a bit of space on the other side of the train tracks. BearClaw Gaming, they're just a duo, and maybe not even that for much longer as Kill Devil push in to try and finish them off completely. I'd say they'll be successful in that endeavor, and then so many teams have tried to dislodge HKUF from that building. Will one of these others finally be able to do it?
EVOS Predator back into the top 3, though. I think that's going to be where they end up finding their grave. It is 3rd place for EVOS Predator now. Kill Devil against HKUF, 2 teams that could be quite happy to pick up a win today. In a position to definitely do it. HKUF have really had to work hard to get themselves into a fighting position, and now down on the low ground. Kill Devil coming in from the high ground have the advantage. They've already got that initial knock. Now down another one. It's HKUF with 1 player standing. Kill Devil 2. Kill Devil will choose to slow it down.
Oh my god, these angles.
Continue to find angles through the window. There's just nowhere to go. Kill Devil find themselves the easiest of wins in the end.
That's crazy that you know, HKUF, they stuck it out for all that time and then just can't quite get pulled up that time.
But Kill Devil, you got to give them credit for that one. Obviously, happy days for a team that has been a little bit embattled throughout this season so far, and so getting a win in a fairly opportune moment like that one might start to build things back up. I mean, they're in 13th overall on the season standing, so really today is kind of about just holding on to a position inside the top 20.
Yeah, no, that was a great game from Kill Devil. You know, these teams that are sort of sitting a little bit lower on our leaderboard really turning up today. But that was finally our game number 4 for APAC-South. Just want to say your patience is always appreciated when we have lobby resets. The same kind of patience I show with my puppy who just left toy remains in the living room, Elfish, so that's kind of fun. But as the chaos sort of unfolds in my house, it unfolds on World's Edge. We saw, you know, Geekay Esports take this fight here with, you know, remarkable, just having to bide their time with that caustic gas, but who's on their tail? But Legends Gaming, however, you know, falling short as well for them, Elfish. It's a tough fight for some of our juggernaut teams there as they sort of have to make their way into this zone.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, this is always going to be a messy one, right? When you've got Fragment involved, it's still the same as, like, if you would have, say, a Skyhook circle. There's just a lot of teams clustered together in not a lot of space. So if you go around the wrong corner or you open yourself up to an angle, you know, similar kind of story to what we saw here for HKUF, it's like, yeah, you can play that building, but you know, there's so many angles that you can get shot from. You have to be aware of all of them. And it never really feels like you're safe in any position. So you're kind of just milling around hoping that, okay, if I sit here to stop and heal, no one actually has a line on this angle. But inevitably, obviously, they do. And so Kill Devil, they kind of walked their way into a win there, which is obviously quite nice to see. And look, they've been doing well for themselves today. It's not the most massive of game wins, 6-kill wins, but it keeps them, I think, up into the top 3 for the lobby overall. And if they were able to find a top 3, you know, sitting in 13th for the overall season standings, that should be enough to pump them up into a position where, even though they're not playing in the next lobby, they'll be able to watch on without too much concern that they're going to get knocked out of the top 20.
Yeah, no, exactly right? And I guess, HKUFF with 12 kills in that game. We haven't seen too much from them. I think that would push them up quite well in our overall scoreboard, along with EVOS Predator. They had a huge game in Storm Point with 20 kills, and then sort of falling short a little bit there, but that is enough to get them sort of back into that first position, Elfish, which is extremely good for them coming into these matches, along with Kill Devil, who moved up 4 positions just from taking that win and putting them, I guess, tied with Mkers.
Yeah, that's a good spot to be in, for sure. 2 games yet to play, and definitely every opportunity to push your way up into first even. Like EVOS Predator, you got to remember that a very large portion of their points really just came from one game. It was a 20-kill win, so 32 points out of 45. So 1 out of the 4 games, and the other 13 sort of spread across the rest. So the consistency maybe hasn't been there just the same for EVOS Predator, which makes you think, yeah, they're actually potentially going to be a catchable team in that first place position unless they can put together another big game. So pressure's maybe on for them, considering there's a couple of teams now hot on their heels.
Yeah, and Heroez as well, sitting in 5th. They're 20th on our series leaderboard. They're sort of sitting on that cusp, to get themselves into regional finals. So, they're going to be fighting a lot for their lives today. So, they were sitting in 5th. So they're doing incredibly well, I guess, coming into these matches, as we hit match 4. But, they've got to sort of keep up that momentum to be able to keep themselves above that sort of that line there. So, they're going to have to be fighting, still against Legends Game and Mkers, who are, our top 2 positions for series leaderboard. It's going to be quite a little bit of a fight. We see SaWeiQi sort of falling a little bit short today. There is a chance for Heroez to sort of keep that position. But we are going to take ourselves a short little break, and we will see you back in a moment for game number 5.
there. I gotta admit, I may have tricked you. Whew, glad I got that off my chest.
Tell Death I said hello.
I will Fanta.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us here at APAC-South, let me give you a quick little recap of our games so far. Kill Devil solidified the win in game number 4. EVOS Predator, you had a huge game. Number 2 kept their wits about them and has put them back into first place overall today with 45 points. Hellfish, is going to be interesting to see if they can keep this momentum.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Is it necessarily momentum, or is it just big one game's coming through, one sort of thing? So, like, you know, we'll give it time. We'll give it time. I mean, but that said, like, there's only 2 more games to go. So how much time really is there? In saying that, there's a couple of teams, obviously, that are going to be able to play in that next lobby. And for those teams, it's really quite important how the rest of these next 2 matches go. I'm looking at VP. I'm looking at Akuma, especially. They're, I think, in the top 5 or 6 for this lobby at the moment. And they also get to play in the next lobby. But they're also the teams that are inside the bottom 10 of the overall season standing. So I know that's a lot of words that probably don't make a lot of sense if you haven't really watched a lot of Apex Legends before, but basically the TLDR is they need to do good today. They are do good now. If they don't do good again later, they're in trouble. So hopefully they keep do good.
Yes, well, let's see if they do good, because we need these teams to do good. Let's take it over to game number 5, everyone, as we see our games unfold again on World's Edge.
Yeah, well, it's been a pretty good day so far as well, has to be said. Things have been progressing pretty nicely thus far. 2 more games to go for this lobby, then we'll take a little bit of a break. I'm sure you're looking forward to that, Gino. I'm going to take some nice dinner in that 20-minute break. What have you got on the menu?
Uber Eats.
Ooh.
Yeah, look, honestly, probably the Palmer.
I got a chicken enchilada.
They deliver really quickly. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Chicken enchilada from the shop's going to heat that one up in the next break. Have it ready for dinner, but well, that'll be a little bit of a ways down the track because we've still got to get through this game.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so one thing I wanted to see was a bit of adaptation from Kill Devil here because they know if they, you know, doing their homework. The Grape Soda after the last game are going down towards tree, right? They're sitting low-key down there. And that honestly opens up a bit of opportunity. It's because you can't read people from the dropship anymore. You don't get that initial part of like, okay, we're following the trail. Oh, I can see, okay, people are going to land with us. Now we can adjust our own dive trajectories to try and account for that. Because everyone's coming out of their own ship, I think Kill Devil should just be full sending it at Grape Soda because they should be able to catch them off guard, honestly, and get a 3v1, a 3v2, and take out either Fussy or Collapse, who are going to be the only 2 going for Lava Siphon. Kill Devil, you know, they've been sending someone to loot the North Siphon buildings over the other side of the bridge, and I guess that's a fair decision too, but I just kind of feel like they're leaving some points on the table by not doing that.
I just want to point out, I love the sound of your voice right now, man. It's getting real nice and husky. You're getting that radio vibes.
Yeah, totally.
By the time we get to the end of the day, I don't know if you're even going to be here anymore, but that's a journey that we get to go on. You know, these players, they get to go on a journey. They get to fly through the air, do what they need to do. That sounds all fun, but we get to listen to the slow spiral that is going to be Genome's voice if he doesn't get enough honey in during the breaks, which I don't know if there is enough honey in the world.
Approaching my pack a day voice here, which is...
Oh, I think we're already past that.
Which is crazy because I've never touched one in my entire life. But yeah, look, I'm straight mainlining the honey right now, like literally injecting it straight into my throat. So we'll see.
Single and ready to mingle, by the way. I mean, with that kind of a voice, he doesn't stay single for long. That's all I'll say. HKUF on the rotate on the way into Countdown, and they've gotten there maybe a little bit late. Heroez is set up inside the command center waiting for them, although it is only 2 of the Heroez members. Kissans was down a little bit lower on the hill, so they're going to actually back out into Lava Fisher and give HKUF control of the control center.
And where that ring is pulling, yeah, you can definitely expect people to be pulling up in Countdown. Maybe a couple in Lava Fissure as well. And it looks like Heroez have actually had to back off towards Lava Fissure Because as you said, they kind of wanted that control center where HKUF were, but HKUF once again just finding themselves in a really good spot and beating others to the punch.
I find that they do that a lot, actually. They often convert on those spots. Ooh, it's a good knock onto Kongbite. Remarkable team down a member as well, going to be looking for that res. One of them finished off, so yeah, Kongbite just getting caught out in no man's land. Remarkable team perhaps needed to find a little bit of a position of solace a little earlier on in the piece, because you've got to imagine a lot of teams are heading in that direction towards Countdown, so there'll be no shortage of people looking in your direction if you're floating around on the, you know, on the catwalk.
Yeah, interesting that they've even pulled out of that building. I guess that was just to try and capitalize on the knockout to WarMonster FireBird, but yeah, they get back up. They're all good now. Remarkable team, however, not so lucky, losing their Valk player.
Beggars can't be choosers, mate. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the revive in here, though. It's just way too busy of an area. Unless you maybe got a mobile res beacon. Just saw Crane hit a very nice shot onto Turtle. HKUF continue to keep themselves in the kill feed for the right reasons.
Yeah, that said, down here near Tree, we've actually got 3 teams pulling up. You could be forgiven for thinking that the zone was going all the way south, because there's a couple of teams that just looking very static right now. EVOS Predator are the first to move, and they say, no knocks just yet. It's looking a little bit dicey. We're going to leave that alone. And the others eventually do actually pull away as well. So after they leave outside alone and they're able to get the survey beacon scanned down at Tree, they'll head their way, and looks like SaWeiQi and his mates are going to head up north as well, parting through, you know, plenty of ring consoles and whatnot on the way. Actually, well, it doesn't matter. They can't scan the ring consoles. They don't have the fuse. They've got the Horizon. They're playing survey beacon only. A rare choice in this day and age.
Yeah, indeed.
Let's check out this area.
Sunset wins the race for Kill Devil at the moment. Legends also one of those teams that often tends to find themselves in a pretty good position quite early. They're one of the faster rotating teams.
I like this fence placement as well. I mean, you know, something you'd expect out of a Watson Pro like player K is putting it just far enough outside of the door range that you can open it either way. You know, and you're not going to break your own door off. People obviously, you know, they'll put it just inside the door if they're worried about others sort of coming in at them. But then you have to rely on your teammates to open them to maintain that door. So it's just one of those small things that Watson players have to worry about a little bit, because, you know,
how do you feel about this shift?
Actually important cover. Yeah, it's gone very north right now. There is you know, a half decent chance that we end up in Skyhook, or as we've seen happen quite a few times before this this split, as we see the last remaining remarkable team member go down. We could see this go over towards the Raven, as our observers are maybe even predicting and showing us right now. And it's BearClaw Gaming who's set up there nice and early.
Very cinematic part of the map. I like it.
I mean, they've been so good at predicting zones so far this split.
We often see a lot of zones actually in this kind of just north of Countdown area, right? That finish that like on that hill. In between Countdown and Skyhook seems to be one of the more common zones. Maybe I'm just coping, but that's what it feels like to me. So most teams should be fairly comfortable with how this one's going to play out. At least have a good idea. EVOS Predator, maybe one of the teams that might be a little less comfortable, to be quite honest, having to still come up from Mirage Etoile. So that's quite a move that has to be made. One or two teams still in front of them as well, outside the team immediately in front that they've been shooting out for the moment there. And beyond that, Barbecue on the other side of the cliff.
We've potentially got another three-way coming at us here, with Grape Soda pulling up from the right-hand side. Those three teams were getting into it down at Tree, and now they're doing it again over at Mirage Etoile. Barbecue, you see them as Ronan's getting pulled out of the sky, but Heroes don't really want to push any further onto that, so I think they're fine. It'll be an easy reset for Barbecue.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Barbecue are going to go ahead and try and go for that balloon again. They've actually just backed off, and they'll be getting some shots in onto EVOS Predator, who are rotating their way in now. EVOS Predator getting down onto the ground okay and safely set up in the building. This makes it even more difficult for Barbecue to rotate out. So I don't know what plan B is going to end up being here for Barbecue and for EVOS Predator as well. What are they going to opt to do? I think at the end of the day, they're kind of going to have to fight one another to at least sort of force somebody away. Might be Barbecue to concede the space. They've gone underneath Lava Fisher and they'll be taking that zip. So they'll give ground to EVOS Predator, who honestly might chance their arm at the balloon as well. Eventually.
Might be good to hop up, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they see the zone pull in 40 seconds. Yeah, maybe time to go for it. There's enough teams around they could easily get sniped off it, however. It can be a risky play, but who knows, maybe one works out. Anyway, Kill Devil in all sorts of trouble here. Being targeted by Heroes on one side. You've got Geekay, who always look to be pressuring someone, but haven't finished off a lot of their meals so far today, and that's why we do see them struggling a little bit in terms of our leaderboard. They're sitting down in 14 so far in match 5.
Looks like Kill Devil should be able to get that revive okay. Being able to fall inside of the room. Well, maybe I've spoken too soon. Heroes are going to continue to pressure. Markstar in there as well. They're not overcommitting to it. Don't mind this from Heroes. They're doing a lot of work. They're doing a lot of damage to multiple teams, actually, but they're not kind of overcommitting, taking a fight, losing a player themselves, and kind of shutting their game down with a mutually assured destruction type situation. Nade, ooh, a good one. 4 seconds way away. Chase is on still. He wants to go up onto the second floor, but it's YC that eventually gets in there for the early damage. JR for the cleanup, and Mkers do get eliminated by X and Y pretty early on in the piece in Game 5 of the day.
Ooh. Yeah, that's interesting for our this series in particular, because EVOS Predator is still alive. They're down the bottom of Lava Fisher though, and that means their nearest competition has just been taken out. It has been a pretty close game so far, with Kill Devil and Mkers were at 41 points, just behind EVOS Predators. So Kill Devil haven't really stabilized yet. They're actually trying to get a sneaky little res off here in Lava Fisher, and they're gonna do it. Good work by Lohan there.
Love a good sneaky res.
Yeah, because, you know, Lava Fisher, it's got those, like, little rotating doors, right? So they actually provide just enough cover for him around the respawn beacon to pull it off.
If you time it right, it's all good. Outside the ring, being quietly plugging away. We do have Grape Soda rocking up behind them, but that'll be a conversation for another day, because it is Barbecue that are maybe in danger of getting barbecued actually down there at the bottom of Lava Fisher. Res not really on offer, although they're going to go for it. They're going to give it a crack, and that might have been an overstretch of the imagination. It's just Big Z left, and he will not be lasting long. There's too many teams hanging around in Lava Fisher to be going for something like that, and ultimately it does start to kick off. EVOS Predator, Geekay, and
oh my
Kill
god,
Devil
did they
as
actually
well.
make this in? EVOS Predator, they were like the last to get in here. But because of that, they essentially thread the needle, and it looks like Geekay are worried about the other teams right next to them. No, I spoke too soon. EVOS Predator take a little bit of damage from BearClaw Gaming, who are looking in on them. And then, yeah, you got Geekay, you got Grape Soda, everyone just getting into it as they try to run out of that small little place, that small little choke that they had coming out of Lava Fisher there, and none of them survived.
Yeah, kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Once you're having to push your way into Countdown out of Lava Fisher, it's, like you said, a pretty hefty choke point that you do have to get through. Ultimately, someone's going to die, and pretty much everyone died, really. Like, EVOS are down to 1, GK down to 2. Oh, wait, no, never mind. GK got 3. They got the revive. So I guess the ultimate winners there in that situation were Geekay, and they get out okay. But they've still got further to go. HKUF, who we touched on a little bit earlier in this round, are actually doing pretty well for themselves, set up inside of that control center. Still haven't really had to move. And so they'll be feeling pretty comfortable about things and should be fairly well set up to make this next rotation.
Yeah, their next rotation is not so bad. They just come up against Legends Gaming and might even be able to sit in, take some space outside of them. Whereas WarMonster, FireBird, they've got 3 or 4 other teams ahead of them. And having a look, yeah, they've got no survival items. So that one's going to be really tough. Geekay, after doing very well in that that tough spot over in Lava Fissure, we're going to listen into them to see if they can make it through here.
Yeah.
He's under in?
I'm not sure. I try to check. Careful behind his fucking...
Grabbing his banner.
Yeah. The high is shooting at you. 20 on him. Save on me, save on me, save on me, him.
Yeah, I know. Fuck, man.
You take.
Ooh, well, that hasn't gone very well at all for GK, so maybe a little bit of a listening curse. As we've seen a few of those today, to be quite honest. But here's Akuma, who are one of those teams that we should be keeping a bit of an eye on, because they're trying to make a run in for the top 20 in the overall season standings, which would make them in contention, obviously, for the split finals, but just outside of the top 10 for today's lobby so far, and with Crusader down, chances of them putting many more points on the board for this game looking slim.
XMY, one of the 2 teams left alive in Skyhook. The other is Virtus.pro playing on the low ground here. Virtus.pro, we've talked about it many times today, that both of their series today have to be very good for them to be advancing to the regional finals. And as it stands, they've only done a mediocre job. They're in 9th position. They've got to be better than average to make this through. With 2 down, can they finish off the last X and Y member?
Yeah, YC trying to sit behind those shields. Just get the bat off. The push is in, but BP! It's down and out, and now X and Y probably are about to be as well. Third party has come on through from SWQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So, look, VP, I think they end up actually getting a couple of kill points off the back of that, but not enough to really trouble the scores at the moment. Top 5 teams remaining, Legends being one of them, up on the high ground as well. And they have dominance over the teams making their way out of Countdown.
Yeah, HKUF did end up making that rotation. It was a little cursed, though. Only 1 still left alive. BCG, meanwhile, who took up that early spot in the Raven, carved out plenty of real estate for themselves with the perimeter fences there from Watson, and I mean, no one else has even managed to get anywhere close to that situation. So now it's all up to Legends and SWQ. Now that we're in a 3-way sort of deal here, I think there actually is a chance that, you know, we see one of these other teams take it off BCG, but up until now, no one's really looked like they could even get a foot inside the door.
SWQ, they're the ones that really need the points out of this lobby. Legends and BearClaw Gaming do a little better for themselves at the moment. But in saying that, Legends, they've got a Craver in the back pocket there. It's in the hands of Player K again. He's had it a couple of times today. Ooh, the big nade. Forcing him back inside. But we've got a lesson in with Legends Gaming. So we'll see how things go now as they try to close this game off.
I need energy mag then. Okay. You just like
maybe player can stay high, like solo.
We need left space.
I'm dropping.
Can you like get out an energy mag for me?
There's none, bro. No, there's none.
I need shields. I'm 1-2.
Yeah,
what do you want? Energy mag?
I dropped 2 bets on 4 cells. Come play left with me, please. Holy fuck.
Energy mag?
I'm dropping.
Come on.
Hit him 90 on the left.
Hitting.
We bully this guy off. Yeah, 100%. He's early bullied off. We can't lose red. We can't lose red.
I'm gonna watch right as soon as I pop out of time.
You watch right. I'm playing with Mire, okay? We win the game right now. Hit it, crack them.
Popping a bit. All the other.
Watson dead.
I'm healing. Med kidding. All you flame. All you. Chill.
I 140 on other team.
I'm good. I don't think I can stop res. Careful.
Yeah. They're Arnold.
They're resing now. They might try and push us.
Wait, maybe we go.
We're good. We just walk it in here. Shoot across.
Yep.
Can I take red box? I can.
Yeah, you can.
You can. Can you fence like hit a player?
They might push. Bro, what?
Yeah, okay.
How is there bang out there? Swing right, I think.
I'm ulting.
I'm looking for Kraber shot.
I'm nading this. Careful. Chill.
Man.
Focus right.
Brother, magnet.
Get all the kills. On me.
Watson. Dead.
Nice. Don't know how many kills we got.
We got like 5 before.
Did we give a 4?
Alright, Legends finish it off there. Very nicely done. You can see they, I love there seems to be like 2 different Legends listening. Once is like, oh my god, everything's hectic and we're like struggling so hard to get there to the end. The other one is just like, we know we're the best. Like, we're worrying about how many kills we got, not that, that we were even going to finish the game off.
Yeah, you know what? The win doesn't matter. How many kills did we get? But, Legends Gaming are a top team for a reason in our region. The excellent communication that they have, Genome, and, having such faith in each and every teammate, as you can see, send off Easy Flash to, try and get the 1v1. Obviously, they didn't solidify the knock there, but getting the win after all, that's so fine. Their communication is just absolutely insane. They were able to control most of that space, and it's always difficult to drop off the top of that building because those other 2 teams had rocks and everything as protection, but they just managed to push them away and get the win. And you can see that this team is just unstoppable at this point.
It's pretty nuts, isn't it, how much better they seem to be than the rest of APAC South right now. I mean, we were looking at that global tier list rankings before, and sure, it's the opinion of a couple of people out there, making those votes, but I don't think they're far off. If anything, they genuinely are one of the best teams in the world, and with a position, with a performance like this, you can see exactly why. A 21-point game for Legends Gaming, and that will move them pretty close to the top of the scoreboard, I can imagine.
Yeah, well, there you go, Legends Gaming. You got 9 kills, so that's an extra thing on top of the win for them. SWQ struggling today, I feel, Genome. They are quite dominant, I find, on Stormpoint, but for them to sort of get quite high up on a World's Edge map is very exciting to see for this team, getting 7 kills as well. BearClaw have been doing an excellent job overall, I guess, throughout this whole split. But yeah, I think they climb a couple of points there, but as we can see, Legends Gaming back on top, Genome, where they usually are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm genuinely surprised BearClaw didn't get more out of that game, honestly. I mean, as we were talking about, they controlled the space so well there under the Raven. But it gets them into 8th spot, and there's a little bit of gap as we go there up to the top 5, and honestly, the top 3 positions are where you tend to get the most split points. And make a difference to that sort of end of split scoreboard. So yeah, look, Legends Gaming putting themselves on top and peaking at just the right time, it seems.
Yeah, that was only just, match number 5. Is it going to be another win for them again? They've gotten so many so far. They're always getting those 25 series points, which is why they're at, I think, currently 99, almost that triple digits. So this could, again, be another Legends win. Obviously, EVOS Predator, we've been talking about them today. excellent job from the whole team. They really need to get as many series points as they can because, you know, they're one of the ones sitting lower at that 20th spot. So I'm feeling like this game number 6, they're going to be fighting for life, along with, you know, some other contenders like Heroez yeah, it's just going to be crazy stuff unfolding. And, you know, game number 6 is always crazy. But let's take a look at some crazy numbers here as we have a look at our damage leaderboards. And look, I feel like EVOS Predator, that's the first time I have seen EVOS Predator join in this top damage today, Genome.
Well, I mean, I guess that would make sense if you look at some of the placements they've had throughout this split today. They're looking to have their best day ever. And as you mentioned, they need it if they, you know, they want to jump up 4 or 5 places and make it into that top 20 and just be able to get the chance to have a crack at regional finals. Strafing Flame putting in the work, and it's been glorious to see this man just getting better and better as he's actually knocked Easy Flash off in terms of, you know, appearances on the top, the kill leaderboards, the damage leaderboards, as this season has worn on. And it's not because, you know, Easy Flash is playing badly, that's for sure. It's just that the whole team is firing on all cylinders.
At this point, I feel like they're just competing with each other. You know, they're already ahead of the game in front of every other team. Yep. So they're like, let's compete against each other and see who can take over for the damage. But that was just game number 5. We're going to take ourselves a short little break and we will see you back for our final game for Groups A vs C. Welcome back. Match number 5 filed away under Passionate as our teams are fighting to make it into regional finals in 2 weeks' time. You heard this name before. We say it a lot, but it's none other than Legends Gaming. They got the win in match number 5. They're just so cool, calm, and collected. It's just no one is going to beat them at this point. But you know what? We still have one more match to go for these groups at the moment. And Evo's Predator fighting for life currently. They're sitting at 24th in the series board. These matches today are definitely very important as they want to try and get into that top 20 bracket.
Yeah, it should be enough for them to do it. And, you know, this is the last round robin, the last two series we're going to play. And for those teams in Group A, remember, Lace, this is the last series and games that we will see them play until the regional finals. So, you know, that means that Geekay Esports not playing any more after this. Kill Devil, Vegas, Inferno, all these teams. That is, yeah, I mean, you know, they do get that one more chance in regional finals, but to add to their tallies. But if they're on the outside looking in, time to get going.
That's it. It's really make or break for quite a few teams, and you know the pressure is on for them. You know, I guess we've been sort of talking about GK Esports and the struggles that they've been having throughout the split. You know, again today they're finding their feet a little bit difficult, but yeah, hopefully they can pull something out in this last match. So let's take it away. This is match number 6 and the final game for Groups A versus C.
All right, last chance saloon for a couple of these teams to get those extra critical points on the board. I was touching on Akuma, I was touching on Virtus.pro going into the last round. And speaking of the last round, well, now they do kind of need to get it going. Virtus.pro sitting in 9th, Akuma sitting in 12th. That's just not enough considering where they are on the overall leaderboard. They have to be doing something a little bit more in the same vein as maybe Evo's Predator are in top 2ing the lobby at the moment if they really want to be feeling in a good spot going into our next lobby later on this evening and having a good shot of making it into that top 20 comfortably. So lots to do in this last game, and it seems to be heading over toward Epicenter is maybe where we'll finish off.
Is it? Or will it pull back to Monument is my question. Who knows? We'll see. Chance of both. But yeah, having a look at some of the teams we've got around here, definitely the ones I'm going to keep my eye on right now. Outside, HKUF and Evo's Predator. Those are the 3 teams that we could be saying goodbye to in Split 2 literally right here, right now after this game. Evo's Predator, I get the sense that they've done so well so far today that they'll probably be making the top 20 with a big performance and a big jump up in points. HKUF currently sitting in 22, tied on 29 points with Outside the Ring. Those 2 teams, though, it's a lot shakier for them right now.
Yep, most definitely. I mean, both HKUF and Outside the Ring don't get to play in the next lobby, whereas Evo's do, VP does, Akuma does. So there's a few teams. True as well will get to play in that next lobby, but they are also having a pretty rough time in this current lobby, so maybe not going to be their day. There's a few teams that, you know, I guess we'll kind of be continuing to focus on. I feel like, honestly, that's a little bit more of a conversation when we do get into the next lobby, but, you know, it's quite prudent at this point in time to be kind of keeping an eye on those things. Because really, you know, apart from that, what is there to play for today? I mean, most teams are more or less locked inside of that top 20. Like, the teams that we're seeing do well in this lobby, Legends, Kill Devil, Mkers, Vegas, Inferno, they're all pretty much, you know, solidly inside of the top 20 anyway. They're just sort of jostling for those positions wherever it may be. But really, the story of today is about can those teams at the bottom make their way into the top, and for some that will be the case, and for some it won't. SaWeiQi have started really well in this engagement. Very quick trade goes on to JR, but I don't know that that's going to be quite fast enough. YC down low, half HP, but he's comfortable enough, and Grape Soda eliminated quickly in the final game of the day means that they are going to be making a swift exit from this lobby.
I mean, that was a beautiful use of the terrain there by XD. No evac tower in sight, but still finds a way to use that mother load. Obviously, you know, it doesn't just have to be an evac tower. If you hit any object that's quite high above you with the Fuse ultimate, it will help in spreading out the flames and making a bigger circle. So really a heads up play there from XNY will help eliminate Grape Soda early on.
Gotta be in it to win it.
Though, funnily enough, you're less likely to win it if you are in the Fuse ult.
Yeah, that's one good way of putting it. Kill Devil also eliminated quite early on in the piece here, so maybe a couple of teams just getting a little bit tired at the end of the 6 games that we've played so far. Geekay also out. It's getting, you know, kind of nuts in here, actually. I wasn't expecting this many engagements to be happening, and is that the end of Geekay? Wow, for the season in general.
No, I think they're
still in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, they had a bit of a gap. They had almost a 10-point gap over 19th place going into our final lobby. So I'd say probably not, but
not right now. But very likely, I'd say at the end of today, they're probably getting.
I mean, they've put themselves out of auto land qual, and you know, they're one of those teams who's just going to be joining that awkward middle ground of like, you know, show up or show yourself the way out, because it's really only winning match point that could do it for them now.
Look, whatever. Anyway, we'll figure it out in the next break and come back into that final lobby with a little bit more assurity as to where things are sitting for all of these teams. There's still too many moving parts with all the games yet to play. All I know, though, is most teams have kind of made their rotation in toward Epicenter or in toward Fragment. You have EVOS Predator still out towards staging. They're going to be the last movers. Remarkable team up here towards Survey Camp. Do have a couple of teams to also be aware of that have come in sort of from the train tracks, from Skyhook type area. Might cause a little bit of a ruckus for them. For Mkers out on what should be the quieter side of the zone. Probably not too much happening over here. Just going to be hoping for another northeastern pull. That would really make their day, actually.
Yeah, doubling up on the zones when you're switching between POIs week to week, and you only get 3 opportunities for the zone to pull your way, and there's not exactly 20 POIs, but there's more than 20 choosable POI positions. So, you know, for it to pull towards one of you is actually a reasonably low chance, right? So, you know, getting even one, let alone 2 zones, is a big help to how many points you're able to score.
Yeah, Vegas Inferno on top of Epicenter. Would love to see another ring go in that direction. Won't be able to get the information that it is going there, though. EVOS, who are down in staging, are playing a little bit of a slower game style here. They're the ones actually getting early information on these ring pulls, and they're going to continue to see those ring pulls go further and further away from them. I can let you know that it is, again, another northeastern shift. So Vegas Inferno will not have to move. And Mkers, who were sitting up on that bridge, also probably pretty happy with how that ring pull was going to go. Again, not that they're aware of it just yet. But they won't move unless they have to. And so it'll keep going in their direction. They will be very happy to just maintain their position quite safely. There it is for you. Visual representation on the map feed. 4 teams already knocked out of this game. That is crazy.
Yep, teams they're looking for those kills. Looking for them early on here in our final game in groups A, V, C. You can see X and Y actually pulling up towards Mkers there. We've got a couple of teams flying in over on the west side as well. Quite a few teams now coming into contact with each other. X and Y do not get the better of this. Meanwhile, Remarkable team, they're actually looking for this on the back end too, so Mkers once again, it feels like I just feel, how on earth are these guys in 5th place? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, how have they managed to cobble together enough points to get into 5th place when I feel like every single time we look at them today, they're getting third-partied and coming off worse. Like,
no,
that's actually an
100%
incredible
right.
effort.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I want to hold that thought for the moment because it's VP versus Akuma, 2 of the 2 teams that we really highlighted coming into this game. Akuma down 1, I think VP also down 1, maybe 2. Pricey gets a good finish onto Walsh, but he is the last man standing here for VP and very much needs to win this fight. The 1v1 on offer for him, spam through, but Snoop hiding behind the knockdown shield, keeping himself healthy. Pricey needs to buy enough time to pop a shield bat here.
Oh, goes for
has
the
managed to do so, and he's even going for the res. This is risky.
So Snoop, though, they're going to trade reses here. Crusader will get back up, and so will ShaWeiQi. Snoop, the young player here who's come up from the Challenger circuit and finally got his chance, is going up against the veteran himself, the man who's done it all, Pricey. And now, as they trade, it's going to be Crusader versus ShaWeiQi. We get a different 1v1, but not for long.
Balls of steel from ShaWeiQi
will go down, but
no.
yeah, obviously Evo's Predator are there to finish them off, and they just zoom in and pick up the pieces.
Mutually assured destruction for VP and Akuma, but they will still have another lobby to play, so I don't know, have they done enough based on that first set of 6 games to put themselves in a position where they can really push for the top 20? We'll have to have that conversation when we come back from the break into the next lobby, but I don't know that they'll be super happy with the day's outing just yet. That was super ballsy, though, from ShaWeiQi taking that peek. He had like 10% HP, no shields. Actually won the fight, but it's going to give him like, well, 1 extra point. Not really a big deal in the end. So overall, enough about that conversation. True on our screens right now. 9 points for the day, 17th. They are another team who will come back for the next lobby, and they're really at the bottom of the overall season standings as well. Obviously being a pretty new addition into the ALGS for APAC-South. Not really expecting the world from them, but a massive final game here in this lobby, and then a good final lobby could still put them into the finals lobby in a couple of weeks' time. Seems to be wishful thinking at the moment, and even copying some shots now from X and Y.
So what you're saying is, there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's always a chance. Never write anyone off if there's every possibility.
X and Y really just eating that zone damage right now. I mean, XD's putting in the pressure and trying to buy some time for his team to, you know, get their loot out and get them back in the ring. Is, my God, YC was really leading it to the last moment there with the Mkers. But he knows his timings, and they will move back in. That said, the epicenter call was absolutely right, and it's pulling like directly on top of the tower itself. And that means that we've got OVI, who are sitting up the top, and Legends Gaming, who are playing the bottom of the tower.
How does Legends Gaming always find themselves in a really solid spot? You know, what is it about this team? You know, they just fly under the radar, and then you look into the center of the zone, you're like, oh, okay, there they are. Again.
Well, I mean, they like to pick relatively central POIs. Is is definitely one of the things that sort of makes it its way there, right? They went for the countdown this time, you know, relatively good priority into an epicenter zone.
Okay, barbecue down to 2 for the moment. That very quickly is going to be turned to 1 because Bigsy, he's getting farmed as well, falling off of that hill. They've just been destroyed by MDY. That was clean as a whistle.
That's pretty rough. I mean, that's a tough day for barbecue. They're going out with
another contest.
7 points.
Woo! HKUF have decided to do to MDY what MDY just did to their opponents, and I don't know if it's gone quite so cleanly for HKUF. MDY have got a couple of knocks courtesy of Almenstern. Straight back onto HKUF. It's just the one player left alive up the hill still, to be fair, but will surely have to fall down in a moment, and is finished off 10th place for HKUF. 9 squads remaining. This game is rocketing along.
And that's, I mean, honestly, that's such a good fight for MDY to win because of where the circle shifted now. They have a very clean and free rotate to the northern side of the zone here. It's a big fight win for them.
X and Y sitting on top of the building, taking things pretty slowly. To be fair, they honestly probably do need a bit of respite. They've had a pretty high-octane game. You saw them in the zone, taking the zone damage. They've fought a couple of teams already. Now they're getting third-party shots coming through. YC, luckily, gets the bat off in time. It was just spammed through the smoke from Evo's Predator, but very nearly got the job done.
Yeah. As they come in on the back here, though, I feel like there's no way X and Y live through this, surely. And, I mean, it's zone 4. We've got We've got 9 squads left alive, and we're about to lose 3 of them, Elfish. What is going on here?
Yeah, it's madness. Everyone just wants to fight. Everyone wants to go and have an early dinner, apparently. Fair enough. I'm kind of hungry too. So, Legends Gaming are definitely trying to keep that mentality as well as they're continuing to push in on. They've dealt with True. They've got EVOS Predator on the other side of the building, or inside the building as well. And Strafing Flame is just not shying away from that at all. The Prowler doing so much work. Out comes the Hemlock now as well. EVOS Predator gone at the hands of Legends Gaming. 2 teams now down in quick succession. Just thanks to Legends, who have found themselves now jumping up into first place for the lobby. And is anybody surprised to see them there?
I mean, we may as well call him Brutus, because he saw nothing but their backs there as he just went to town on about 3 different squads. It's apparently easy to be the damage leader when no one even shoots back at you. They're all just running away. That was incredible timing from Legends Gaming.
It's 2 Legends Gaming, apparently. There's a revive going on. Okay.
Was that a shot on the player before they've even left the dropship? Because I swear that Senti shot connected.
I don't know.
So I guess yeah, it just hadn't dropped out of the dropship enough to get the damage through yet. Because you saw the crackle on the player.
It sounded like it. It sounded like it hit or something. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Look, Legends, they're frying at the moment. I guess that's the big thing to take home from this situation. But MDY has rocked up right behind them and try and put a bit of pressure down. Thermite Ned getting tossed out as well as some shots in there from X, but no real connections. And so Legends do get that reset off. Slowed down a little bit now, as is to be expected with now only the 4 teams remaining. It's still quite a large zone for 4 teams.
I mean, it's incredibly early to be down to our top 4 here. LVI started to spread out. 2 of them have left their high ground loft. SWQ slowly circling around behind them. They will have to worry about getting caught off by that team. Whereas Legends Gaming are more locked in here with MDY for a battle on the high ground. But wow, no, they do actually get caught off.
The EVA 8 just comes out as well to finish them off. Absolutely dominated. LVI in the blink of an eye. 2 players out of the picture. Looking for that 3rd.
Oh my God.
And man, this EVA 8 is just crunching Vegas Inferno. Out in 4th, Las Vegas Inferno done. And then Legends out in 3rd. So into the final 2, MDY and SWQ. MDY very quickly losing 1 more. SWQ are kind of just farming their way through this endgame. The EVA 8, the Devotion. Why not? Just pile it all in on top of MDY. Arcstars as well to boot. That man is not getting back up.
SWQ man advantage now. Just need to calm down, play this a little bit slower as they let Youngling do the damage here with the Devo. Surely SWQ have this one wrapped up.
Yeah, you would think so. Donut gets rid of Algenstern. And just the 1 remaining. It was always going in that direction. SWQ will take the victory in the final match of our first lobby of the day. That should jump them up pretty substantially. They were in a bit of a spot, but now we'll be looking forward to seeing where they end up on the overall leaderboard.
Yeah, SWQ going crazy with that Eva, just, you know, trying to get all the kills under their belt. That was absolutely insane from them. But guys, that completes our games for groups A versus C. That's our final set of games for Group A. You know, have they done enough to get themselves into the regional finals? I can definitely say Legends Gaming has. You know, they've been doing excellent throughout the whole series, the whole split, and again in that match. But you know what? Taking it to SWQ to get that win is just exceptional for them. Hopefully pushing them further up the leaderboard here. But as we see this fight from X and Y, just being able to obliterate Grape Soda, which is a little bit unfortunate for them. And
yeah. I mean, look, at this point in time, I guess really the big conversation has to kind of be around where are those teams from the next lobby kind of sitting in the overall standings, right? Once we get that kind of information, we can start to kind of look into what we might be expecting out of the next lobby and starting to set things up. I mean, I'm looking at VP, I'm looking at Akuma, 12th and 14th for this lobby, I believe, is where they're going to end up, and that's just not really quite good enough. SWQ, I mean, they're going to be in the next lobby as well, but they don't need to really worry too much. They should finish top 3 for today's lobby, and this current lobby, and that both, you know, they're kind of locked in for the top 20 at this point in time. So overall, I mean, they, you know, had a pretty solid finish to that game, and obviously, you know, not the most consistent of days from SWQ, but if you can finish strong and get yourself into the top 3, you'd be happy with that overall. And a few other teams that, you know, maybe I didn't really expect to kind of be up there quite so much, but had a pretty decent day. HKUF, they were quietly plugging away. I mean, LVI as well, we saw them finish pretty quite highly in this game too, and they are a team that also sort of, I think, flies under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there, Elfish, and, you know, it's, I guess they've, you know, still got a couple of matches left to go, I believe, so, you know, there's still a little bit left for them to get it, but you know what, we're going to go have a look at what we've been waiting for, as this is the last bit for this group, and look, they do it again. It's not just once they've won the lobbies, it's been a several amount of times, and they've just done it for their last games for the triple round robin. That's Legends Gaming take out the win overall. It was, I guess, not a struggle for them at the start. We generally see them, you know, take a bit of time before they sort of creep their way up the leaderboard. But in the last couple of games, they always just seem to absolutely come out the gate running. And again, they managed to get themselves 25 series points on top of their already 99. So they are definitely, you know, going to be straight into the regional finals, probably to LAN again. It's going to be awesome to see. But, you know, EVOS Predator Genome, that's insane for them today. You know, this was really a make or break situation. We do see them play, you know, again in the next couple of matches as well. So this is a great start for them.
Yeah, I think they've probably done enough with that second place. They move up into, I think it's about 17th overall as a result of their phenomenal performance today. You know, a team like SWQ can move further up. HKUF, they're the team that's going to have to sit here and just bite their nails for the next couple of hours, Lace, because they've moved themselves into the top 20, but it will depend on how the other teams below them play, on whether they do end up making that final lobby, right? And then, you know, Virtus.pro, not a huge day. They move up one spot after their performance there, and they essentially need something like a win in our next lobby here to even see them in our regional finals, and I don't think that would be a result that anyone could see coming, them being in the bottom 10.
Yeah, and, you know, Geekay Esports as well at 18th. You know, I guess there's a couple of other teams that still need to make their way, you know, through the next couple of games, so they could potentially be knocked out as well. So, but let's have a look at our top team at the moment. Legends Gaming, just no shocker, Elfish, just an absolute crazy lot of matches for them. You know, I'm not going to say only one first place, but like the consistency that they have throughout their games today is just insane. You know, they are just a team with excellent communication. And yeah, we kind of said it before, they just seem to be kind of doing, you know, little competitions in between themselves. So just no catching this team.
Yeah, 4 out of 6 of the lobbies that they played, they won. And they're done now. They don't have to play anymore. They don't have to worry about this next lobby. But I tell you what, if you take 4 out of 6 lobbies, you know, you're probably pretty good. So we'll give them credit where it's due. See how they go in the finals.
Yeah. Let's take a look at our overall tournament scoreboard, because this is, you know, something that, you know, we're used to seeing Legends Gaming on top there, but they finally hit the triple digits along with Mkers as well. They just are not going to be caught at this point. This was their last game for today, so they have 100% locked themselves in. And, you know, we have a look at, I was saying before about Geekay Esports, you know, they're at 18th. This was also I believe, their last games. So it's going to be, I guess, a little bit scary for them because Heroez still, I guess, are playing here. We've got a few other ones there. Grape Soda, sitting at 16th. They get to play again. We're hoping, I guess, Virtus.pro can do something in the next 6 matches so they can sort of push themselves up in that 20th position.
Yeah, I mean, they've garnered themselves a lot of fans over, a successful career in Apex. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why we are keeping our eyes on them. But it does seem like it's trending towards an uncharacteristic and, unfortunate exit for them in the earlier stages of Pro League here. The teams surrounding them, there's quite a few there that will turn up in that next series. Keep Going Gaming, Final Dream, No Credit, these teams that we didn't see in our first series today. They're the ones who are looking to make that big performance and jump up into that top 20, because we will be saying goodbye to the right column on our screen in our second series today.
Gets tough. It's tough when you've been talking all day. I understand.
That's it. A lot of yapping from us today. So, I think Outside the Ring just loses out today as well. I think they were sitting 23rd there, and this was their last game. So I guess we kind of say goodbye to them. But yeah, not after a bunch of cracking games that they had today. But I guess it just wasn't enough. But we're going to take ourselves a longer break at the moment. We're going to get some dinner. You guys get some snacks, but don't go anywhere as we have 6 more games after the break.
MXF happy to stay inside their orange for the time being. Weibo though is right beside them. You said effectively 2v3, and this is gonna be a fight for second place. VK Gaming have all the setup that they would like here right now.
Yep. It's perfect, right? They've got the crossfire angles, they've got the zone control, they're fairly central. Gonna be happy with the setup, and Weibo, I don't know, they're gonna be under the pump at the moment. Pete, God, he's gone for the double! No way! There might still be a world in here. MXF trying to hold on, but Weibo managed to grab the second, and well, ultimately we knew it was going to be VK taking the dub, but Weibo have to be happy with that. The Remarkable team still have some room to work behind the rocks for the moment, so they're going to get themselves some extra time to heal on up. No credit. Was thinking about taking matters into their own hands, and now the fight really starts to ensue. That's some great damage down from Lux. First knock already, Barbecue down to 2.
Team all also taking this opportunity. They find the opposition cornered. Big Z now has been felled by the Peacekeeper, and it's Barbecue gone from the fight. No credit on the opposite end. It's a battle for the rock, and we'll see who'll take the game with it. A slide in from very cheeky indeed, and that's very much so effective. No credit takes map to resume.
Yeah, really could have been anybody's game though, to be honest. It was a fairly equal 3-on-3-on-3, but a chance to take some points off of Weibo now.
They're exposed here with the mother load. It's spreading so much so immensely. Big information here for Weibo Gaming, and MXF struggling to get on out. They use the Rolling Thunder to try and provide a bit of cover, but they're just completely exposed in those intentions. Dreamfire as well as Weibo. Nothing will stop these two squads from facing off against one another. And here we go now with Gugu and the rest. Pika tried to find that angle. MXF eliminated, but Weibo Gaming is unstoppable here, and they will take the third map of the set.
Yeah, they were never going to be denied, were they? They just utterly dominated from start to finish. What a phenomenal game from Weibo.
Here we have it. Sky load into play. Shoot the top, get that intel. Weibo Gaming seeing LGD on the other fronts. Just poetic. Both of these teams getting picked up by big Chinese orgs before the start of the splits. And with LGD now looking to take the fight versus Weibo Gaming. Shades of MDY White versus Wonton Dumpling. It's happening here. Pika though still in control. It's Bobo who's able to finish off Feichu. Ming Yue gonna fall too. And Weibo knows it's easy pickings now. All they need to do is clean up the rest. Dreamfire gone. Weibo will take it. It's Weibo Gaming with the back-to-back.
Yeah, back-to-back, easy as you like from Weibo Gaming, but you have to give a shout-out to Pete for, once again, being able to get those extra points on the board to bring fire.
没事没事，绝对绝对，你去那玩了，你去那玩盾网，去盾网，去盾网。啊，被秒了。
Oh, you can hear the passion from X and Y, but the silence is deafening as they have been eliminated. SWQ though standing as a solo. And it's a struggle now for SWQ. MXF keeping things going here from up above. Yuling trying to win this fight here. Finds his target above the rocks. MXF, it's been just a rat adventure, but right now it's SWQ who will take it. Send it home, SWQ. You take the dub here in map 5.
Man, I don't know that Artorias was expecting to be fighting for a first place finish there, but
a few snipers to work with. Distance will be the friend of SWQ as they're creeping closer to the center of the ring. But I hate the world will destroy Yuling there. No Name gets the knock going. We're now to a 2v2, and the res that you mentioned, it's cover here for Dreamfire.
well, SWQ have used the last shot of their Kraber, whereas Dreamfire still have a couple to play with. It might not matter anymore. The real fight's going to kick on. M's got one. Pete got another. We're down to the 2-on-1. SWQ had their opportunity. They had that 2-on-3. They didn't push the issue. And Dreamfire will walk away with match 6. It was only a matter of time, really, before they got that dub. They had a second and a third in there. Finally, a dub on the board. UF go down very quickly indeed. The problem is for LGD, that's the dinner bell being rung for Dreamfire. And now it's Dreamfire versus VK Gaming. Finish off game 1.
He's gonna get dropped. Dreamfire took the opportunity since LGD took long in that first fight. Now the 3MC and the rest can take this rooftop away. A slide on down. I Hate the World continuing in. No Name brought the damage in the last set. Now he's gonna get down here, but QQ will get traded. All left for the Watson here. Dreamfire with advantage. A slide on Indo. Knockdown shield for the cover. Defense to try and get a little bit of the zap, but the spark is BK's to get. They win a game number 1 here.
Yeah, they win another game with number 1 here. It has to be said. They won.
A bit of danger. Quaintance needs to get the reset going. Bayuler and Scholar trying to provide cover, but Kill Devil is on the hunt. Fruit Salad now eliminated. Bolin bringing in the lead. Levy also with the beast of the hunt here, and it's perfect for Kill Devil. Opportunity knocks, and it's Kill Devil who answers. And here comes
Might have spoken too soon. Yeah, MDY down out of the picture pretty early on in the piece. The final 3. Kill Devil looking for it with Beast of the Hunt. 13 seconds to go. Bolin will drop early. Almost a FireBird. The quick trade comes back through onto them. Havoc out. Big spray. That's the end of 1. Whoa! And it's down to just 1 more left. But Legends Gaming walk away as the champions out of nowhere. Player K's like, sup, I'm on the roof. How did that happen?
Look to get the dub. Smoke's the only cover here for BearClaw right now, but they're left to 2, and Dreamfire commanding the presence of many coming into this one.
Slow and steady wins the race as far as Dreamfire is concerned. They want to see their two opponents fighting, but in fact, maybe spoken too soon. They want to get on top. They want to get as many points as they can. Pete already getting a knock onto QQ of VK Gaming, and it's just surely nothing here for VK. Look at the struggle that they've got themselves into. It's fish in a barrel for Dreamfire to finish off this game, and down to the one last member. Dreamfire will make it look easy. It was, I think, a very foregone conclusion. Dreamfire happy with that.
Give me triple swing the back here. Just kill him. 1, 2, 3, swing. Yeah. I stunned all of them. Here's one. I fight. Swap.
Nothing. I'm looking.
They're on left. They're fire. I'm nading that. Nading.
We're all playing roof.
Blind wall. Just play safe. We win this game.
I'm playing under. I have heaps of nades again.
Playing cover.
Skin.
I'm nading again.
Yeah. I'm gonna swing around here for an angle.
That's done.
Swing.
Let's go.
Fucking god.
Oh my god. Let's go. Let's go, boys.
Went fucking perfectly, boys. Oh my god.
Coordination is one thing, legends is another.
They're watching Edges, they're watching Furia, both teams hesitant to push up because of the Grape, but watching them, and that's a double whammy! Yeah, that'll get it done. You've got a team who are trapped inside. If you can hit that knuckle cluster, you can get some damage down, then you can clean up these fights so quickly. It's time to swing in behind the gold knockdown. This should be LG being able to clean this one up, but no! Oh no! Oh no! Nano says no!
Man.
It's Alliance who are on your screen. So Alliance now up to 2 reds and a purple. The Pathfinder is going to allow them to move. Capitalize on the rolling thunder damage. This is why you play Path. My boy is back.
Right now, even with the Catalyst walls, there is only one direction to go for these teams, and it's forward. SKD Mark maybe say, well, we might as well take this fight, and my goodness, dropped. Oh, you didn't drop a second, my friend. You dropped bullets onto them right there.
Trying to create some space for themselves. Meanwhile, everybody else is also trying to do the same. You talked about ninjas in pajamas. ANCL played down in the kill feed, but look at them. These nades are ridiculous.
Nasty playing the Bombardier class right now. Where did he even get all those nades? Most importantly, Falcon's here. Falcons can move in and clean this game up, and should clean this game up. There's a couple of knocks. It's not a full team. It's a case of securing the KP and securing the win now. One more player left alive. Take him out, boys, and call yourself champion, surely. It's dicey. Wait. Imperial, how is the clutch? How has this turned around so much? And how, all of a sudden, he's on the back foot. Falcons had this in the bag, and now Luxford with the knuckle cluster trying to push him away. Popping the Phoenix can elevate win. I'm speechless.
I wonder if there is a last-minute attempt here from Dreamfire to overtake Weibo again. 72 points is kind of what we're looking for at this point in time. I guess 73 is what you'd need to guarantee.
Big.
And a big lot of damage coming through, and it's going to be I Hate the World straight on top of that to follow up. Kramer from the high ground. Here's a big chance. Huge shot. Remarkable team out. Keep going. Eliminated as well.
But then you have to take fights. In 07, they do see the drop, but they've already lost 2.
Oh my god, Nasky here. He's got to do it. A little wall bounce as well. Throws the smoke. Something special about to happen here. We don't know. Nasky's ready to do it, though. He's got the full English right in front of him as well. A little bit of Passion UA. And we see the overview. Full English will take that one. Passion UA will go down. Nasky will get the res. He's got to push full English. Does Nasky feel confident? He's got a shield swap there. Not going to take it. Maybe there was nothing there. And he's got the Havoc. He peeks. This is a big play. And he has to run away. He didn't get the damage. And this is just going to be using the knockdown shields. Somehow, Dan, it's still going on. And Nasky is still alive. Trying to hunt down what's looking like the EMEA movement god over here. Nasky still tap-strafing his way around that catalyst wall.
And is he healing himself in the smoke as well? He might have the perk to be healing himself in smoke, which is really helping. His kneecap will also fall. Nasky gets the job done, and Nasky's still doing God's work right now. Still alive into the top 3.
Tough. They try and make a quick rotation here, but Not good enough from Dreamfire. And the other teams in quick succession will look at them, but wow, look at this Boogie Borders here. Killerpuz trying to put the team on his back this season, honestly, and he gets a big entry here up onto outside at Mill.
The weight of the world on his shoulders, and Killerpuz does it again for Boogie Borders.
3v3 スイムですね。ドンファイト、ドンファイト。さあ、ショットが有利だぞ。この土俵はウミちゃんが削っている。キルリーダーになってるウミちゃん。ドスコイバトは削れている。メルタージュ、ウミちゃん落として。どうだ、ショットから 1v1。リード、いや、ドスコイだー。
But do they know there's another team coming? Oh, I don't know if they do. Here comes the Zips though. Here comes the Pathfinder. Unfortunately for Hackis, doesn't quite hit the tech that he needed to with that grapple to get over the top. And now Effect is left on his own. He's going to jump in the Trident. Can he get through it? Surely. Magical. He threads the needle. Effect. If you get this battle, by the way, that is the most god level Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher nonsense I've ever seen.
Yeah. One down.
Let's go.
Let him rest. Go back. Go back. Let him rest. We get the kills there if we let him rest. Have we tapped him? We can't let him die to his own. Did we let them rest both? I think so, right? Let him rest.
If the downs came from MDY, then the res means that they do get the kills if they get brought back up. Legends Gaming, was that the most 5-head play?
からどっか飛ぶんじゃないですかね。アルファがいるぞ、目の前。どう？内側か外側か。ハイドを見つけた。大胆だ。気づかない。
Like these plays is just immaculate. So, you know, having this situation, having to swing out against a team that's setting up with Watson fences, with a Kraber looking down the barrel, and being able to win this is just a triumphant.
It's going to be harassing with the knuckle cluster. As SKD try and move through, and this is so smart from TSM. They're just forcing them away. They don't really want to kill them immediately. They just want to force them away from the position that they're holding. However, the banger comes in from TSM, and it's going to be Reps on the fuse again, who is hitting the big nades.
Now looking to take a little bit more space, and they are going to get a scan off. That gives a lot of information. A couple of Prowler shots as well. That's bad. Catch almost goes down, though. And there's a big push there. Nice from Taskmaster. Rolling teams now down one. With the R99, going to look to swing. Bazaar. What can he find? Nothing. It's another one from Taskmaster. Echo is going to fall, and Rolling team's going to go down just like that to DMS. And remember, Season 21 changes, adding that vertical, essentially, wall that allows a lot of ordinances, unless they go from up all the way down, to not hit Newcastle. But talking about up all the way down, it's the health bar of Zidane as he takes on Effect. Two of the top gunners in EMEA. Effect says, watch this. The Havoc sprays an Alliance hotkeys on the Pathfinder. He doesn't need a grapple right now to get out of this. That's one more. Kiner goes down. It's just another kill. And Alliance will have taken down FA Kids with the Pathfinder, no less.
Out of nowhere in the front line, bridging the distance.
Legends!
The Legends Gaming, you said it, Genome. This is their opportunity. They're going to take it. Dexter falls. Legends now in the 3v1. Trying to find the final one standing here from Mkers. It's Zicky hiding in the corner. Still though, he hasn't found. There's the Eden Tower. Red armor's not enough to keep you alive, good sir. And the tracking from Strafing Flame.
Focusing it because they heard that fight going down. But DSG, who did land in zone a few moments ago, well, now they've got to win a fight against Temper. Shots coming in here from Designful. The hip fight with the Havoc is good, and they will get the win in that team fight as Temper will be eliminated.
BBQ though, a fighting team from the qualifiers now. What the smoke. See them still play the Bang and Blood. Really getting up to the same kind of memo with the rest of these teams. Protection now, looking to shred the opposition. Bolt in hand here for King. And Panda's the first to fall. Racky down two. Left again to kill it, to try and fight back with the Boogie Borders. They've been seen, they've been found, and they've been cooked by BBQ here.
Yeah, all the odds starting to arrive, but I think GG are in one of the better positions because they can reset behind this wall and watch all the drops. But sadly, the wall doesn't last long enough, and they're going to be the first focus point for some of these teams that have height. Yeah, just caught out a little bit there. You see, they just didn't have enough cover. The wall maybe used a little bit earlier than it needed to be. They needed to survive, like I mentioned, for around 15, 20 seconds maybe even. As young HungKuang crew up on that high ground are playing the height for as long as they can. And in the end, they don't really need to do anything.
Dexter versus Racky. Once again, he has to try and deal with the fact that the other team has those knockdown shields to work with. A grenade will take Panda down, but still, Killer Pos marches forward on the floor, holding that knockdown against Dexter, but the longer they take, the more likely it is teams like LGD Gaming come in here.
Araki though, he's so close!
No way!
No avail! Dexter!
That's why you've seen LG be eliminated. They will fall. The last two players will go down, and now TSM have to make their play. And boy, Zap! If you're looking for firepower, well, there's a good example of it. A beautiful spray with Havoc, big damage, Oblivion eliminated in the meantime.
No contest at all. Nothing. Not a knuckle cluster. Not a grenade. I mean, that was their biggest threat. It looked like TSM was playing against somebody who wasn't even firing back. That was huge from them, and now they put their lead to 55 points. 4 squads left. They've made it again into the situation. LG has gone down. It's Furia, NGNL, Empire Gaming, and TSM here in our final 4 with only 12 players left.
And now the climb up is massive here for TSM. Can they survive long enough? Can they get up without taking too much damage as the veils will forward? It's time for us to enter the final act as TSM look to pick up yet another win here. Fury will be eliminated. Empire Gaming will be the final winners though as they clean up the final pieces in that end game.
Nah, Alliance is cracked right now. They are playing out of their minds as OP as a duo fly up to the skies on an evac. Alliance says, don't delay this any further. Don't make it hurt as they land on the height. But the tracking from Unlucky on the Havoc blaring through. They take the height for now until that last finishing blow comes into play.
And the low ground is the way to play this out.
Oh, Atlas, though, patience pays off. The beam with the Havoc coming in, the tracking as he follows up with the Hemlock. Now, one after one, everyone slides in their direction and go next, get eliminated. We saw them right now just next to them on the low ground.
Okay, he's probably on the other side. Can you stand him here? Yes. 60 tracked. Track 2. That's one, get it. Track go free. Stand if you can. I can play. Right with you. Yeah. No, go back. Go. Nobody to fight this. Fight this. Go to me.
Swing left.
I'm with you.
Bang. 100 dead. Blah.
On top.
Guys, yeah, I'm reloading.
Go. Armor's up and reset. He's on top on you, on High-octane.
Watch out, High-octane on you.
They're both literally on the first one. New team, go back. Yeah, let's go. Get the solo.
Batting.
I'm burning.
Alliance is in prime position right now with those cons, and Alliance is looking to take the dub here.
It was a killer catwall that got them into this position. Will they convert it, Vicky?
Oh, but Effect is unstoppable. One punch coming in. Call him the One Punch Man as Alliance take game number 1.
さあまずは岩山へに対してのアプローチ、そして一気に上がっていく。
ネットラムズのリフトでいなしてますね。
はい、さあウルトラ越している。さあ一旦上にフナティック、そしてレッドラムズ。
お互い頭打ちですね。
さあ岩山での最終アーチ。
ただポジション的にはフナティックが前に詰めなきゃ。
そしていいグレネード。リング際まで押し合ってダメージも多い。さあ岩山フナティックが抑えた。
They're walking out. They're in smoke. They see me.
Not close to it.
Not close to it.
You're good.
I got on you guys. They're going
so much damage. A lot of damage. Under. I need some energy.
They're all globey.
Yeah, charge the core. Don't tunnel. Far team. Almost cracked one. One dead.
They're dying.
They banged on me. I'm not gonna he's not far. He's ulting far. I hit one. I hit two. I hit all three on right.
Nice.
So much energy. Kill one.
Yep. Crack one.
Down another two. Two dead down now. Two dead down now.
Blood one.
They're rising. One side.
He slid back down.
No, they're gonna fight.
Nice. One dead down on the right. Yep. Combo.
No sliding down.
Yeah.
Look at that. Get that kill. One HP. Last guy, guys. Good. GG's.